Hey, everybody. We are here with a Dicey Decisions horror one shot. I'm your DM tonight, and we're going to play the Creep Patrol tonight. We've got four amazing players, all of who have played on our Dicey Decisions regular show. I don't know what order we're appearing in, so Brandy, can you tell us who to introduce ourselves one by one? I'll just go first. I'm Jack. I'm the DM tonight. Who's
Uh,
next?
Justin, go.
Hi, everybody. Normally I'm playing Tarlin, the happy-go-lucky curmudgeon of the group, but tonight I will be Nick Bar, a black dragonborn druid from the swamp, that my daughter has very beautifully named a voodoo druid,
Okay,
Voo Druid.
I,
Good.
I like that. Okay, yeah, I'm next. I'm Brandy. I am playing Sastra, who is a Tabaxi monk, who follows the way of the long death. So I think she's well
Creepy.
suited for this adventure. John's up next.
I'm John. I previously played Megonius Magungo. In the previous two sessions, I was guest starring in those roles, but I'm here as per request from Jack, and I will be playing a changeling warlock of the Archfey, and his name is Enoch.
Enoch the Warlock.
And now
Oh,
Sean.
and I guess I'm last but not least, I hope. I'm Sean. Tonight, I usually play Kid, the not so happy-go-lucky rogue. Tonight, I will be playing Ratcatcher Merc, a human swarmkeeper ranger. So, good times.
Awesome. Justin, one more time, please tell me the name of your character.
Nick Bar.
Nick Bar. And I should have written all this down. Brandy, you're Shastri?
Sastra.
Sastra. Okay, Sastra. Got it. Okay. I'd like to get started immediately because we're running a touch late. I need everybody to roll a con save.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah, right?
I have it advantage.
Oh, yeah! Not nat 20, but nat 19 plus 2, 21.
Wow. Okay.
So, I have good news and I have bad news.
Let's hear it. Bad news first.
The bad news first, I am not playing Tarlin. So the good news is I rolled a natural 1.
All right. Perfect.
And
I
this
got a,
is why I only play halflings, people.
and I got a 19.
Okay.
I rolled a. Oh God, what's my? Okay, 13.
Perfect. Okay. All right. Everything is darkness. Sastra, you start to hear noises. Your eyes are still closed. You feel your eyelids moving. Your eyes moving below your eyelids. You hear sounds, but you're trying to wake up. You feel yourself trying to wake up. And you're starting to listen, and you hear strange thumps and gurgling sounds and sounds of electricity. And your eyes start to peer open. Very much lethargy. You're tired, you're sore. Your eyes open, and you see, rotating slowly in the air above your prone body, right above your face, is a glowing crystal, very bright, illuminating and burning your eyeballs. What would you like to do?
You said I could hear things. Can I sense anything with, like, my whiskers?
Sure. What kind of things are you?
Just is
Like
it?
a general perception check? Sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll perception.
All right. That's a 19.
The thumping sounds that you heard in your semi-sleeping state are accompanied by shuffling. It's almost as if something is being dragged heavily around the room.
Can I move my appendages, my arms, legs, or are they just tired or are they restrained?
You try to move, and you feel straps holding your upper arms, your wrists, your upper legs, and your ankles.
If I turn my head to the side and open my eyes so I'm not as blinded, can I see my surroundings?
You do. There are other lights suspended around the room. The room itself is generally dark. Some of these lights are twitching and flickering. You see strange shadows. You hear movement, but as you turn your head off to the side, you see a pale-skinned humanoid whose eyes are rolling around inside their eyelids, and then Enoch awakens. Enoch, you're lying prone on the table. This odd spinning lighted crystal just beaming light right into your face. It's very hard to see.
Yeah. Enoch looks around if he can.
You're so low. You feel like something's really wrong, but you're able to slowly turn your head and you see a dark-skinned, like Black Panther-looking tabaxi on a table nearby. Roll perception check.
13.
You see there's at least one other table if you crane your neck and look down toward your feet. You hear shuffling noises and heavy footfalls somewhere in here.
Am I able to speak?
You can try.
Yeah, Enoch is going to give a Psst. Hey, you, cat.
It comes out way slower than you want it to. It's more like, God. And you feel like you have something in your throat. It's hard to do.
I turn
As this is
my ears
happening-
his direction.
Yeah. So you guys see each other. As this is happening, Ratcatcher Merc, their speech wakes you up. You're prone. Roll, and this crystal is shining bright light into your eyes as you open your eyes. Roll a perception check.
I don't like anything about that. 13 on perception.
Whatever you're lying on is really cold. You feel straps securing your limbs.
I would like to attempt to conjure my mage hand. And attempt to have it clamp down on the light that's shining into my face so that the glare will go away and I can get a better sense of what's going on around me.
Okay. Roll an Arcana check.
That is an 18.
You whisper through a very sore, dry, gravelly throat some words that Sastra and Enoch hear. You hear someone trying to cast a spell. Although you've heard this spell before, it sounds like whoever is saying it is very, very messed up. Like has marbles in their mouth or are buried underneath something. Um,
Joke's on you, I always sound like I have marbles in my mouth.
the mage hand starts to appear above the light. You can see it. It's up there. And it starts to close around the crystal and disappears. It's gone.
Can I expose my claws and try to, like, bend my wrist and claw at what's restraining my hands?
Sure you can. Go ahead and do, let's say a dex check.
I love this. Plus 5, 22.
So yeah, you manage to wriggle your claw all the way back to your wrist, and you're starting to scrape at this heavy leather strap that's holding you down. So you guys hear as Sastra is scratching. Enoch, Ratcatcher, Merc, and Sastra, you're aware of each other. At about this time, waking up with a violent start, Nickbar's eyes flick open, blinding light in your face. You jerk up and you realize that you are heavily restrained, and the ones of you who can see him and hear this happen, you look up and it looks like Nickbar, you feel like you jerked up hard, but you just see it slightly budge and scrape a little bit and settle back flat. It is a dark-skinned, heavily scaled, dragonborn character covered in a very thin white sheet. Some blood spatters on it. Nickbar, what would you like to do?
The restraints. Just wrist, chest, and legs?
Upper arm, wrist, upper leg, ankle.
Okay, I would like to wild shape into a snake.
Roll an Arcana check.
Sure. Well, I did twice as good as my last roll. I got a 2. For a
Very
total of
appropriate.
2.
Form of an earthworm.
You guys see this dragonborn clench his teeth and really try to flex and tighten up, and his form shifts a little bit, and he falls back exhausted, unable to turn.
Let me out of this place.
You guys hear him say,
If I look around, do I recognize any of the instrumentation, medical devices?
Go ahead and roll an intelligence check.
Well, that's no good. It is a
It's not good.
9. 9.
You can see things, but your brain is foggy. They're not making full sense. You can see long, curling tubes. You can see what looks like rope or wires suspended from the ceiling in a crisscross direction, but it's very distracting. You can't really figure out what this is all about. Would anyone else like to try that? Looking around. Intelligence check?
I'm curious
No, I'm pretty dumb.
because I'm a simic scientist, so I'm wondering if anything is registering at all, but obviously with a 9, nope.
Well, you are covered with sheets, and you do see smudges of blood on everyone's sheets.
Would it be possible to make an athletics check to try and break the restraints?
Of course, go for it.
I imagine this is gonna go just as well as your attempt to talk.
Hey, twice as good as last time. This time I got a 4. Eventually, by the law of averages, I'll be up there. So 7 total.
It's almost like it's exponential, but you know.
It's Zeno's paradox in reverse.
If I get an 8 next roll, I'm leaving.
You going to Vegas?
You
Just
win.
taking the next flight to the casino.
Somebody come get my kids, because I'm out.
That's awesome.
So you don't get free. Clearly, you strain as hard as you can, but these straps are pretty tight, and you just can't pull hard enough. You feel like, well, go ahead and roll them in intelligence anyway, because I
Sure.
want to see if you can tell what's going on.
10.
Better than an 9. That's an average roll. You're being experimented on or something. This is a room full of medical devices. You see a rack over on the wall with some tools. Most of them have sharp edges, some saws even, calipers and pinchers and different instruments of measurement. You hear water or liquid gurgling through pipes and tubes somewhere. But that's about all you get.
Just kind of snarl a little bit, and then I would like to attempt to summon my breath weapon to spray acid at this crystal orb above me.
Sure. Arcana check again. Hopefully you're immune to your own bile.
I am, well, I'm resistant. But I rolled a 3, so it's probably
Yeah.
just gonna like be spittle down the side of my face.
I feel like
Yeah, you broke your streak. Gosh, those dice are not, well, telling a good story.
You need dice jail.
Yeah, you just kind of gurgle and cough, and some of it plasters the side of your face and drips off. And you hear, at this moment, all of you hear, by the way, Sastra is still scritching at her bonds. Give me an athletics check.
Natural 20.
You feel your nails part, the one on your wrist, so you can bend your elbow.
I would like to gather my rats.
Okay. Roll an Arcana check.
Snacks!
Is that a magical ability?
They are nature spirits, so yeah, I suppose it is
Roll Arcana.
magical in nature. Woo! Almost got the 19, but that is a big 3 on the die, so a whopping 4. So I imagine that Ratcatcher Merc is sans rats of any type, and I am just going to lie there, still like a lump.
You reach out with your senses and summon and get no response. There's no connection to your spiritual creatures, and you have not felt that since you were a child.
Well, there's a big cat in the room, you know, so.
True.
It's
a lot
me.
of
You
rats,
guys,
though. It's like
at
a
this
lot
moment,
of rats.
I'm a.
as Sastra is starting to flex her arm, and Enoch can see that happen, and all of you can hear that someone is ripped free of their bond.
Hey, you, help me.
I will help you when I can help myself.
But you hear a heavy footfall. Thump, scrape. Thump, scrape. Thump, scrape. And you guys can look over in the direction and you see a
I try to
shadow
play
on the wall.
dead. I am not looking in that direction. I am playing
Okay.
dead.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop my arm back as soon as we hear that, so it does not appear that I have this hand.
Okay. Anyone looking?
I will look.
Yeah. You see a shadow across the wall from these bright lights that are on above your faces of a monstrous, like giant spider with a bunch of arms. And then the first thing you see is a mechanical arm reach into view and lift something and retract. And you see this body come behind it, reaching other things. And this face swings over to you. And kind of like in Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and other things, this face is stretched back and stuck to a mechanical carapace or a mechanical apparatus on the back of the head. This
Like that.
this creature is a person's body. The face looks like a fairly old person, but stretched really tight. Not attractive. But these mechanical appendages coming out in lots of directions, and it's got a smell. It smells not putrescent, but off. Something smells like it's bad. Um, there are some pipes, some clear pipes running, like glass pipes, running from behind its head into its back, and from its neck down into its chest, and in different, like, between the joints of the mechanical arms and legs. Bright green fluid is bubbling and gurgling through. And when it turns, it looks over at Sastra.
I want to hiss, like a cat, except I am a little bit mesmerized by the tubes and everything else. And I want to ask, can I talk? Am I able to talk now a little bit?
Try.
I want to ask, have you achieved death?
Roll a constitution roll. Just straight con. See how well you can speak.
7.
So it doesn't come out clear, and you guys don't know exactly what she's trying to ask. But this thing stumps quickly, scuttles thum, 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 over to you. Says,
Finally awake. And energetic, too, I see. So keen on getting away. Let me fix that.
she looks over at the rest of you.
Your friend is so eager to get out of here.
I'm gonna
You
hiss at
try
her.
to hiss. She hears like. She takes your hand and just puts it back in place. She's very strong. You can't stop it. And she, from this arm on her back, you guys see her raise up this glass canister and just lets it drop. You hear it shatter on the floor, and this green gas billows up through the room, and you all fall asleep.
Good night, everybody.
So it's dark again.
Thanks, Sastra. Got us all fucking knocked out again.
Clementine will remember this.
Okay. You feel yourselves rising up seemingly from great depths. You don't remember much. Your consciousness is fighting to break the surface. Your senses are protesting. They want to feel. They want to smell. They want to see, taste, hear again. But everything's muddy, clouded. And then through this haze, through this murk, you hear clanking and screams, almost like a scream, coming from far away, from behind heavy curtains. But it gets louder and louder. You're telling yourself, well, somebody must be fighting over there. And then you're awake, and you hear there are shouts, people screaming, explosions, the clear sound of spells being blasted off in the distance. You're wide awake. Sastra, your right arm feels quite different. And it doesn't actually feel. The sense of feeling is strangely missing. Enoch, you look over there, and the hand that she had freed is missing from the shoulder, and it's been replaced with this mechanical, like praying mantis arm. Little pinchers at the end.
We're awake, up, mobile, or are we?
No, you are
Oh.
still restrained on the table, right
But-
where you were.
But we're awake. Okay.
You're wide awake now. You don't feel the lethargy and torpor that you were in last time. You're wide awake. Your eyes are open. You're looking around. You're able to turn your heads. What would you like to do?
For logistics' sake, does that consider a long or short rest?
Any spells that didn't work, you don't have to take them off. You can still have them.
Marking off my wild shapes and my breath weapons.
Yeah, I hear you. You still have them because they did not work. All you did is puked on yourself.
Ah, living the dream.
Is this appendage of mine strapped down?
The one is no, it's like curled up right here. It's not strapped down. It doesn't, like, I guess you could force it that way, but it's kind of naturally sprung up into this shape.
I have no control over it.
You do. Yeah,
Okay.
you can flex it, you can do anything with it, but it retracts into this, like by springs and pulleys, into this shape when it's at rest.
Well, I'm just gonna start trying to unstrap myself if I have access.
Go ahead and give me either an athletics or acrobatics to try to get out of this stuff. Anybody else trying while she's doing that?
I have a.
I'm gonna try and bring my rats to me again, and have them start chewing at the bonds.
Okay, I rolled an 18, but I have a +5 on acrobatics, so 23.
So you're able to start wriggling free. You get this one arm is able to reach across and snap across, and you're able to pull your hands out, and you're in the middle of pulling your legs free as Ratcatcher Merc is suddenly just his table as Sastra sits up and is starting to rip at her bonds. The table across where Ratcatcher Merc is just a swarm with rats all over his chest and head and legs, chewing and chewing. What do your rats look like?
So what it really looks like is my cloak is made of what looks like a patchwork of rat pelts.
You're not wearing a cloak.
Well, fair enough. So they would basically kind of materialize in the form of a cloak, essentially. So they sort of swarm around me. They're regular, slightly larger than average, maybe a little bit wickeder. The teeth are a little sharper, but for all intents and purposes, these are rats. They are
Big gray
brown and big
Jersey rats.
Yeah, brown and gray and piebald and just a collection of rats.
I don't know how tabaxis feel about rats in general, but you can feel however you would feel.
At this point, I'm a little too preoccupied with my missing arm.
Sure.
So.
But you get the vibe that he's working his way out too. How about Enoch?
Yeah, he's going to. He's pretty fed up at this point, so he's going to Eldritch Blast his restraints. And it's going to come from his mouth.
Ooh. So you look down at your arm and just bah, just puke out an Eldritch Blast. Okay. Roll to hit with advantage because you can
Okay.
aim your face right at it.
See here. That is a 15.
Well, since it can't dodge out of the way, you blast off the thing on the bicep of your left arm. Boosh! It's gone. You can try to wiggle your hand free. It's not easy. It's still stuck, but you can blast it again.
Yeah, he's just gonna keep doing it until he's got one arm free.
So
And
you
just,
guys are hearing boom, boom, boom as these Eldritch blasts are just ripping out of Enoch's mouth, like seeming his face is exploding for a second, and pieces of the table are breaking and stuff. And how about Nick Bar?
So Nick Bar focuses, closing his eyes, and the nostrils on his snout start flaring, and he focuses and calls upon the nature spirits, and is going to turn into. It's called a giant centipede, but it's a small creature. So a 3-foot long centipede.
I'd be scared.
My favorite. Oh,
So yeah, if anybody has the time to watch, Nick Bar shrivels up into this long, chitin-covered, 100-legged creature that just climbs right down the table onto the
It
floor.
like not just climbs, but like spirals around it, like a just around it, down the leg and onto the floor and up towards the wall.
Spiraling down the leg and
Yeah.
skittering across the floor. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Love that.
essentially what Ratcatcher Merc looks like as well. It's like Tobey Maguire and Spider-Man. He just kind of the rat just sort of down off the table and propel him to his feet.
I'll pause, like I'll look one way and be like, and the other way, and and then I'm like
And then
frantically
you'll-
trying to get this off of me.
They're perched, like one's on his head, like one's on his shoulder. They're whispering in his ears. They're crawling all over
Yeah.
him. They're on the floor around him. They're
You're covered in rats.
everywhere.
And then Sastra looks at her arm and says,
Yeah, everything is just I'm like,
Okay, so you guys are freeing yourselves. And roughly the same time, you all get feet on the floor and are standing unsteadily by your tables looking around this room. Would you like to hear what you see?
please.
Probably not.
Despite
there's
despite everything,
nobody-
I'm interested. So
There's nobody else in the room. This abomination, this creature, this old lady creature is not there. The door is shut. The room is about 25 by 40. Your 4 tables are not the only tables, but they're the only ones occupied. You see a lot of alchemical equipment and ingredients that you're unfamiliar with. You see a rack of potions in the little potion holders. You see bone saws and knives and scalpels and one door. None of you are wearing anything except this like a folded cloth with a hole on top that's behind you and in front of you.
Beg to differ. I have a nice fur coat.
so do I.
Except for that.
How big would you say these knives are? Are they like
The
like
biggest-
a dagger
Yeah,
knife?
I'd say the biggest one is like a butcher knife. None of them are combat weapons, but you could use them to stab and slice.
I'm going to avail myself of a knife first thing, and then I'm going to kind of whirl and sort of look at everybody. Does anyone know why we're here? Where are we?
I'm just gonna look at you and, who are you?
Great question. Who the fuck are you?
I'm gonna
I'm
ignore that
Ratcatcher
comment.
Merc.
I'm gonna ignore that comment, and I'm just gonna turn and look at the dragon. And are you a centipede still?
Giant centipede.
Okay.
Return back.
So I'm gonna turn and look, and then be like, back off, and then turn to Enoch and who are you?
Now let me clarify something. You remember your names. You don't remember who you are. You don't remember your past. You don't remember really anything except your names and your abilities.
My name
So
is
right now-
Ratcatcher Merc, so there's a clue right there.
My name is Enoch, and I can't remember anything else, which for some reason really pisses me off.
Do I remember that I had a different arm? Or do I?
Oh yeah, you remember that.
Okay.
The first memory that you really have is waking up that first time.
Okay. And we don't. Nothing else. We're. Okay.
Not at the moment.
I think I'm gonna turn back to the centipede and ask the centipede, "Are you going to stay like that?"
So the shell on the back of the centipede starts cracking, and this green ooze starts coming out as he bursts out of it like a chrysalis and stands up, wipes the goo off his shoulder, and says, "Not if you don't want me to."
And you
You're-
are.
Your covering, your cloth is still up on the table.
Yeah.
You're totally naked right now.
Oh, I'm hanging brain.
Please,
I am
put on
Nick
some
Barr.
clothes.
I'm.
Well,
s-
Nick Barr, put on some
why
clothes.
I'm here. She wanted me to change back.
I just kind of shrug. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna start stumbling toward the door.
I'll grab the cloth and I'll tie it around my waist in a loose skirt-esque
Sarong.
towel situation.
Okay.
I'm definitely grabbing a knife.
Okay. Anybody else want to do
How
anything?
did we get here?
No idea.
No. I was hoping one of you could tell me.
I just want to leave. This is wrong.
Well, we sure have that in common.
At least you have your arms.
Yep. Fair enough.
I'm very
Except
angry.
for more.
I'm very, very angry. So I'm gonna kind of storm for the door. Like it's all kind of coming together in my head now that I've lost my appendage, and I don't know. I'm not even like testing it other than I got myself out of the restraints, but I'm like a little frenzied, I think. And I'm gonna head for the door, and I'm not even gonna watch to see if anyone's following me.
Arms aren't like important to monks or anything, right? No, didn't need that.
Just one-handed.
Are you opening the door?
Can I?
Sure.
Is it locked?
It's open. I mean, you can open it right up.
I'm gonna open,
not locked.
turn the handle. I'm gonna look at everybody and just like, who's coming with me?
Mm-hmm. And I'll light produce flame in my hand, so my hand is the sickly green fire.
Does that mean you're coming with me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't think we have a choice.
And I'm gonna look
Are you
back
sure
at.
it's that, or I point at your arm. That. Sorry.
All right. So I'm gonna open the door.
Okay. You see a small room with a row of chests along the side and another door about 15 feet ahead. It's an antechamber type of thing, but there are chests on the side.
I want to take a look at those chests.
Yeah. One of them, there are 8 chests. 4 of them are unlabeled. One of them is labeled Black Dragonborn. One of them is labeled Black Spotted Tabaxi. One of them is labeled ugly human. One of them is labeled uh, white changeling.
Why's it gotta be white?
That clears things up. Thought it was that Spider-Man meme for a second.
I think I'm gonna be irrational, and I'm going to make. I'm assuming we can read these since you've told us what they say.
You can.
Okay, so I'm gonna be irrational. I'm just gonna cause trauma, and I'm gonna go straight for the one that says Tabaxi, and just start with the sort of guttural rush of I bet my arm is in there.
Yeah, so you flip that thing open. Your arm is not in there. But what is in there? What do you think you would have been wearing?
All my weapons
Well,
and my clothes.
what are they?
I
What kind
have
of clothes?
Well, I already have a fur coat, so not much. Like kind of light leather, sleeveless, vest sort of thing, and some light robes.
Sure.
Soft,
that's in there.
soft
It's
slippers.
extremely dusty.
Well, that's not good.
All your stuff is in there. What weapons would you think you might have had?
I would have darts, 10 of them, and a quarterstaff.
There is an ornate pouch that you don't recognize. Inside of it is 10 darts, kind of rusted and looking pretty old. And a quarterstaff, which is not the quarterstaff that you used to use, that you remember. It's much shorter. It's only 5 feet long. Still perfectly usable, but also ornate and almost decorative. Also dusty.
Okay. So I'm going to retrieve the stuff, and I'm going to yank off the sheet, and I'm just going to kind of get after it with my things.
Okay?
Yeah, seeing that, Nick Bar would open the chest labeled for him.
What
And-
would you expect to find in there?
Armor made of turtle leather and a wooden shield. Necklaces and charms covered in bones and teeth. His club, which is just a large femur of a bear with runes carved into it and stained with feathers. And just various spell components that are tucked in pockets and pouches and etc. Stuff a druid would have.
None of your spell components are tucked into the pockets where you'd expect, but there are several clay jars, and inside of them you find all the things that you typically used in life. All of your equipment is covered with like drying, cracking clay.
I was mummified.
I don't like the way
Not
you
cool.
said in life.
Wait a minute.
I didn't catch myself.
Just undo the jars and start pouring things out to put them back where they belong,
Sure.
muttering to myself.
Yeah,
Oh,
I will
we did.
definitely-
Does
I will
my
definitely like. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, does my little mantis arm have any like appendage on the end?
Yeah, you can use the little pincher, like it's got fingers and the bottom is a thumb. So
Call me Mr.
Yeah.
Krabs. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I will scuttle for my box as well.
your rat swarm in, throw the top open, hand up all the stuff to you by just
Pretty much.
sheer force of body.
That's pretty much what it is, and yeah, I mean, it would be pretty much what I, like I said, it would be a cloak made of patched together, rat skins, and a sort of mangy, studded leather kind of armor,
Okay.
and a long sword, like thin sword, for keeping myself safe in dark alleys while I hunt for my little rat friends.
All of that stuff is there. It is very it's got straw stuck all over it, and it's got like a mildewy smell. But yeah, it's all just tossed in there. Un The other two were fairly neat. Yours is just like a pile of shit.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't notice that seems fine to me. That's great.
Yep.
While his rats are doing their thing, I'm gonna start sniffing in that direction. My curiosity is up now.
It's like a really terrible Cinderella. You know what I mean? Like the rats are like putting my cloak on for me. And like...
That's amazing. And Enoch.
Is kind of slow. He's sort of furrowed his brow, but he'll go over and he'll open his chest as well.
And what would you find there?
A cloak and 2 daggers.
Both of which are in there. Yours are folded. They're the daggers on top of the cloak. Not particularly dusty, but it's got a different smell than you. It smells funny. If you want to do a perception check, maybe you can tell what it smells like.
Yeah, I'll take a perception check. A 20, flat 20.
It smells like mothballs.
Ah,
It stinks.
so
Actually, it smells like old mothballs, like it's wearing away.
whoever trapped us here had the wherewithal to make sure that our clothes didn't decay for whatever reason. But why can't I remember anything?
I'm just sniffing at the rats. I'm really realizing I'm hungry.
The other chests are empty, and there's a door. Right
I'm
in front of you.
watching the tabaxi very carefully and whispering to one of my rats.
Once I'm properly suited up, I'm gonna go to the other end of the hall and try and open the door.
Sure. It opens up. You see a long hallway, about 50 or 60 feet stretching in front of you, and halfway down, it bends off to the right. So there's another tunnel leading to the right. These are stone walls. They're lit with inset, those glowing crystals inset along the wall. Some of them aren't on. Some of them are like flashing, very much psycho-like. So there are dark spots along the walls, but you don't see anything.
Did you say we saw a door to get out? Another
Yeah,
door?
there's a door 60 feet ahead of you.
I'm going for broke. I mean, I already got my stuff. This one panned out, so I'm gonna make for the door again.
Start
Is it
running
locked?
to the other end.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I'm gonna kind of test twirl my staff because I'm right-handed, so now I have to be left-handed.
Your right hand can still do it.
Can it? It's me.
You can
Just
make the
grabs the
wrist.
staff.
You can make the you can make the wrist.
I don't think I've quite figured that out yet. I'm still a little like, will it hold?
Yeah.
More than anything, I'm just gripping and
Will it blend?
high speed, low speed. Yeah, I'm gonna head for the door, and I'm gonna kind of look over my shoulder. Like, I'm not gonna say anything, but in a sort of a "I'm going, are you coming?" kind of look. I don't really know these people. We're all sort of in this. I am the
Right.
only unappendaged person, so I'm feeling a little wounded, literally. And
I'm gonna stay about 15 feet back from the cat, but I'll follow.
Okay. So the cat, you dash past this corridor off to the right. You run up to this door. What are you doing?
I'm gonna reach for the handle to see if it's locked.
There's no handle. You can. It's a double door that's closed, and there are two metal plates, like here in the middle, like a
Like
kitchen
surgery
push
doors,
door.
or yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I think before I push them open, I'm gonna stop and turn and see if I'm alone in this or if we're all arming our way
I would
out
be
of here.
about halfway down where it branches off, looking down the branch.
Yep.
Okay.
Down the
s-
branch, only 10 feet. It's a 10-foot corridor, and there's a double door right there. They look much like the one at the end of the hall that Sastra's running to.
Then I'll just keep going behind her.
When I stop, though, I do stop and I take a second to try to gather myself, and then I start questioning: is this what they want us to do? This seems too easy, and I'm gonna vocalize that. I'm gonna stop before I push the doors open, and I guess the dragon is closest to me, and I'm just gonna look and be
Where's
like,
Enoch right now?
Enoch is following far behind everyone else.
Okay, he's behind. Okay.
and just look at. I'm just gonna look at Nick Barr and be like, this seems too easy.
You are missing an arm. I question your range of difficulty, and I'll push past her into the hall.
Okay. Let the record stand that
Are you gonna push the door open or try
Yep.
to? It doesn't budge. It doesn't even give it the tiniest bit.
like I said, it seems too easy.
There's another door back that way.
What's your passive perception, guys?
That's a good question.
13.
15.
Yeah, mine's 13. It should be 13 too.
15.
Okay. 15's good.
Let me see. Yeah, like a 13.
Okay, yeah, you're way better than any commoner, all of you guys. You notice on the door, on the right-hand door, there's a glyph. There are 3 concentric triangles inside of 3 concentric circles.
Do I recognize it?
No, you have no memory to compare to.
Valid.
You'd think I'd know this whole trope here. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna think, but while I'm thinking, I'm gonna idly kind of twirl my staff, and then that's when I'm gonna start
Separate
figuring
circles
out.
or like one? Is it one image or is it 3 images?
It's all one image, 3 concentric circles with 3 concentric triangles inside of it.
Where it's on the door handle or
On the
door?
right door.
It's on the right door. These, Dicey, Meg. Enoch and Ratcatcher Merc, you would be near the right-hand corridor, and you,
That's actually what I was gonna say. Is can I go see if the other door has a similar symbol on it?
well, you hear something like it's muffled, but your passive would have caught like the sound of not a voice, but sounds that probably humanoids make. You don't hear words, you don't hear conversation, but you can't tell exactly what's going on.
All right, I'm gonna go. Shh, I think I hear something, and I'm gonna go up to the other door, and I'm gonna try and listen, see if I can get a better sense of what's going on.
Roll perception.
Should I make an active perception check?
Yep.
That is a natural 20, so 25.
You hear. How do I describe this? Sounds of liquid kind of splashing around, grunts, groans maybe. Some sharp, some longer. There's a kind of blend of soft noises going on behind that door.
Sounds horrible. I'm not going to take a stab at describing that again. Is this door have one of those symbols on it?
It does, but you can see the door is like slightly.
This door is in
Ajar.
fact ajar.
It is.
Got it. But it's the same symbol,
Same symbol.
also on the right-hand side door.
Mm-hmm.
Enoch takes a step back
Okay.
and he says, "After you, rat catcher."
I'm going to put my eye to the little crack and see if I can see through the door to see if what I can see in there.
What you can see are a little slice of a row of cages. Inside one of the cages, something is moving, but you can't see much more than that.
I take a deep breath and say, well, I guess it can't get much more horrible than losing an arm. And I open the door and see what's in there.
As you push open the door, I'd like you guys to roll initiative.
Ugh.
Of course he would.
Okay, I didn't open the door this time. Okay. I always open doors and get shot, so.
Yeah, it's my turn. Ooh, big 7. I'm going to be opening the door and then standing there like a dingus.
11 for me.
9.
I'm going to take this opportunity to refresh my water really quick while somebody else
Sure.
goes. I will be back momentarily.
11.
Well, before you do, oh, he's gone. So there's an 11. What else?
I was 11, yeah.
And also John was 11.
11, 11, 9, 7.
9, 7. Okay. Well, the dingus roll of 7 was not the lowest. So, as the door gets pushed open, Enoch can see past Ratcatcher Merc. And what you see is 3 humanoids, scantily clad with like old ragged clothes, dry rotted, falling apart, standing over and digging into something. And you can see arms and legs splayed on the ground of a live person with red blood all over the place. These are shambling creatures, these 3 things, but one turns around, looks, and charges at Ratcatcher Merc. So unfortunately, he ran away to get more water.
His AC's a 15.
Okay. You guys don't know exactly what these things are. It certainly feels like it rings a bell. The players probably know exactly what they are. But your characters are still kind of confused and lost. This creature walks up and takes a swing with a kind of a hand like almost claw, but takes a punch lap at Ratcatcher Merc. You're under attack.
Yeah, shambling horrors charging at me. I got it.
It takes a swing at you and you dodge out of the way. And now, who rolled the 11? 2 people. Oh, who's gonna go first? Don't care.
You have the higher dex.
All right, Monk.
Um,
Sastra, you go first.
So we're in the room with them?
Well, no, you're down the hall. You're about 35, 40 feet away.
Okay, well, I have 40 feet of movement, so I'm
You can
gonna.
zip right by him and take care of business.
I don't want to, though. I want to look at
I
them.
know.
I am very
Sure.
fascinated by the fact that they look like they might be dead.
After 20 feet, you come around the corner to your left because you had gone past. You see these three things. Roll straight up intelligence to see if you think they might be dead. But why are they moving?
It's a 19, 18?
Their flesh looks gray, kind of starting to get parchment-like and peel away, but parts of them have mechanical pieces. One has a cogwheel jaw that's just ngang, 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 ngang. One of them has an arm similar to yours, not a cool praying mantis, but a heavy, like sledgehammer arm. One of them has made of little wheels.
Okay, so the one that's closest, I would like to use one of my darts.
Sure.
And I want to very. I've lost my words. I want to. I'm not just going to lob it at it, but I'm very curious, and I want to hit it in a very specific location because I want to see what that does.
Sure.
So I'm shooting for right here.
Great. Go ahead.
So that is a nice 18 plus 5, 23.
23 absolutely hits.
Okay.
Why did I even think about it?
And I'm
Keep the suspense.
super curious. I'm super curious about the effects of what I've just done. There's no light. I'm so old. So 4 points of damage.
4. Okay. The dart, like, just punches through the skin of this thing,
Yeah, right there.
and it's like quivering in the bone. No, very little blood. It's just like a black ichor, just kind of splats out, but doesn't even drip off.
Okay. Do I get to do another one? I don't remember.
You get if you get up close, you can do a bonus action of a punch or a kick or an
Okay.
arm strike.
I'm
if
gonna.
you want to.
Yeah, I still have another 20 feet, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna go ahead and do a unarmed strike, and this time I'm gonna go right here for the neck.
Okay, punch him
Like-
in the throat. Good.
Okay.
By the way, if you're watching, these characters are all level 3. This is the first time they're playing them. Hopefully they have just enough to survive this campaign.
Hopefully we don't die. Okay.
Again, apparently.
50, right? 15.
15 hits.
Okay. So.
This thing is moving slowly. Took kind of a slow swipe at Ratcatcher Merc.
Okay, so this is a 3 plus 3. 6 points of damage? Bludgeoning damage?
All right. Yep. So you punch him right in the throat.
What does it feel like?
It feels like whatever the throat tendons and ligaments and maybe Adam's apple were there, you just pulverized it. And
Like-
this thing doesn't seem to care at all. Your hand just sunk way in, all the way to the spine.
Okay.
Okay, Enoch.
Enoch, saw the monk dash past him. But he's going to fire an Eldritch Blast at this thing.
Sure.
That just
Go
attack
for it.
the
With
rat
his
catcher.
mouth?
Yes.
That's
That
respect.
is a flat 20.
Absolutely hits.
Okay. 7 damage.
Boom. It literally tears a shoulder off of this thing, and it doesn't seem to phase it at all. Anything else, Enoch?
That's it. He's gonna stay put.
Okay, Nick Bar, you're at the door. You see the Tabaxi sprint off. You hear sounds of fighting around the corner. You're 40 feet away.
40 feet away from the junction, or 40
From
feet
the
away,
combat.
like 20 and 20?
20 from the combat, 20 from the junction, from the corner.
Okay, so move up to the junction, look down, snarl a little bit, look down at my hand that has this ghastly flame on it, and just throw it at the thing.
Okay, roll to hit.
14.
Hits. Damage, please.
7 points of fire damage.
This thing croaks out what might be considered a scream, but it's cut short as its torso and head go up in flames and it falls to the ground.
That's how you do it.
Merc, there's 2 more that have turned away from this person now you can see lying on the ground with most of its body just splayed open and bleeding.
Well, I definitely don't want to end up like that person, so I am going to pull my old rusty sword out, and I am going to step over to the closest of the second shambling horrors and take a swipe.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna not pull my entire character sheet. Let's. That is an 8.
That hits.
Wow, they are very slow. I appreciate it.
Yes, they
about
are.
them. All right, so that is 9 points of damage, and as I reach forward and stab him, the rats kind of surge forward up my arm and start gnawing at him as well. So this is my gathering swarm. This is an additional d6 of piercing damage.
Sweet.
So that's another 5 points of damage, so 14 altogether. So yeah, the rats just kind of surge up my arm and they're gnawing and biting all up the creature.
So yeah, you hit him kind of central body, and the rats just go on him. They're chewing on him all over its face, etc.
Oh, my precious.
Anything else, Nick Bar? I'm sorry, anything else, Merc?
Nope.
Okay. So the one that you just hit is going to take a swing at the rat catcher. Does a 15 hit you?
It does. That is exactly the number you need.
It comes around with a haymaker and just barely catches you on the jaw and clips you for 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
A maid.
Yep. And the other one, well, who else? Oh, the Tabaxi's in there too. The other one's going to go for the Tabaxi. That's 17 to hit.
Yep.
So as you're retracting from your last punch, this one steps up and swipes at you for 4 bludgeoning damage.
Okay, don't I have a reaction? I thought I did.
Perhaps.
Oh, is Touch of Death? Is that a reaction? No, I have to
I
hit
don't know.
them.
The one where you absorb hit points
Yeah,
is, yeah, you have to
I have to hit them.
bring them
Okay,
to 0.
okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, it hits
You have
me.
to be the one with the killing blow on that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it hits you. The first zombie, whose head is on fire, tries to push itself off the ground and just collapse and continues to burn. Sastra.
I've got my quarterstaff that's new quarterstaff. I'm gonna hit this one with the quarterstaff, the one that just hit me.
Sure.
More of a 1/8 staff now.
Hey, I'm gonna make do. It's pretty. It's pretty. Beauty kills. All right. Okay, so that is 16.
That hits, of course.
Okay.
It's gonna be hard to miss these guys.
Okay, so 6 points of bludgeoning damage
Okay. That one
and
falls to the ground.
dead or not? I guess it's already dead.
It seems it's kind of
Squished.
jerking around on the ground as you just clock it in the head. You do have an offhand, an unarmed attack if you want it. That would
Can
be
I
your
s-
bonus action.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do the unarmed strike.
Okay. So there's another one attacking Ratcatcher Merc.
So that is gonna be 16 to hit.
16 to hit. Absolutely hits.
Okay. And that is nice. 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay. You're wrecking ball.
I'm mad. I want my arm back.
I'm just thinking of Tarlin. All right, Enoch.
Enoch, staying exactly where he is, he's going to fire another volley of Eldritch Blast
Okay.
at the injured one. That is an 11.
That hits.
Fantastic. That's what I like to hear. He will take 7 points of damage.
Okay. This one also has a big hole gouged out of it by your Eldritch Blast, but it keeps on coming. Nickbar.
So there's one on the ground, one on the
One on
ground
the
on
ground.
fire, and
And one on its
one
feet.
standing.
Mhm.
Okay, so Nick Bar's gonna walk up to right behind Ratcatcher Merc, sniff the air a little bit, and pluck a flea off of his head. And squish it between his fingers and cast Infestation on the one
Ooh.
standing.
Sweet.
So it's a con save, DC 13 from that shambling creature.
It fails miserably. With
So
a
that
3.
will be 1 point of poison damage as bugs start coming out of its skin.
It doesn't even notice.
Oh, but the important part is a 3. Let's see which direction it moves. 3 is so it stumbles to the east 5 feet. So whichever direction, it just kind of moves.
It moves away from you guys. You're coming in from the west. It goes to the east, so it backs up as these fleas and bugs start pouring out of its eyes all around its eyeballs, just kind of leaking onto its face. It backs
I
up.
love that smell. Fun fact, the material component is actually a flea, and I'm like, oh yeah, he's playing a rat catcher. I'm so using that.
Well, I am a cat, so you know.
Okay.
Enoch, any bugs or mites you want to tell us about?
Fleas abound. No, no. I'm parasite free, thank you very much.
Ratcatcher Merc.
I am not parasite free. I am going to slide into the space that has been left by the infestation, and I am going to take another stab at the zombie that has been taking a wobble at me.
Sure.
That is a 7.
Are you kidding me? You miss.
Well, I tried really hard. That's what ended up happening. Yep, here we go.
All right. It somehow dodges out of the way, even though it can barely move. It's going to step back towards your quickly slashed blade and try to whop at you. Does an 11 hit you?
It does not. It does
You
not hit.
easily dance out of its way. And the one that just dropped stays down. It struggles to rise and then just eases to full death. So it comes back into range. Sastra, you're right there. You can punch and kick and
Yeah,
Titan, whatever.
I'm going back with my quarterstaff again. My less than quarterstaff,
Hmm.
but pretty quarterstaff. That's going to be a 17.
Yep, catches him right in the temple. This is the one with the wheels.
Okay. And that's going to be 4 plus 3, 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
7. You cave the side of its head in, its jaws hanging down. One of its eyes is pushed over to the other eye, so they're right next to each other. And the wheels go out from under it. It slams on its back. Enoch.
Yeah, let's
It's
finish
still
this
twitching.
thing off. He's gonna give one final Eldritch Blast just for good measure.
Okay. What part of the body are you gonna hit? Assuming you hit.
Center of mass.
And it's
chest.
down, so if you step up close, you get advantage. Because you're a
Sure.
ranged.
That is an 11.
Well, you just blow its chest apart. It looks like it possibly could get back up. I mean, but
Glad we have a shotgun in a zombie movie.
we'll wait until we can see its turn.
I'm going to turn
Nick Bar.
I'm going to turn really quick to Merc and just kind of hiss, send your snacks after it.
I will
Nick
look
Bar.
extremely offended.
Good idea. I grab another flea off of him and infest its head with
Ooh.
maggots.
That is a 2 on the die.
Oh, good. So let's give you some more poison damage. 5 points of poison damage from maggots in the face.
Oh, the face is just, the caved in head is just a swarm with maggots, and it's slowly like squishing in as the maggots are quickly devouring anything that's left. I'm not even gonna give it a chance. No, it's done.
You
So
definitely,
you're-
you definitely notice as the swarm of rats is kind of shifting around Mark. They're staying far away from the side of my body where the tabaxi is. They're all just kind of over here.
Well, it's good to know that all of you are competent as you are disgusting.
I eat the flea.
I look very offended.
So you're standing in a room. There are 3 dead, undead creatures. There are 6 cages, 3 on each side. The first 2 on your left and the first 1 on your right have still these undead things just kind of leering at you through the bars. The other 3 cages are open, which is clearly where these things came from. And on the ground, basically ripped apart, spread eagle, is an elf man. On the far east wall, there is a pane of clear glass with 2 doors in the center. And through the glass, you see the walls in there very, very dark, but something is moving.
And that's the only other doors?
I'd like to examine the elf a little more closely. Does he does his clothing have the same insignia on it that
Give me an investigation check.
was on the doors? Not very good at that. 15 might do.
Does do. You find the insignia is on his, what's left of this kind of canvas coat that he was wearing. And in
Yeah.
the pocket is a stone, a flat stone, with that same glyph carved onto it.
I will pocket the stone because I'm, shiny.
It's,
But-
it's not shiny, but it's a stone.
Pretty.
And I will cut the insignia out of his coat and I'll kind of hold it up for everyone to see. It's here.
I'm not paying attention. I've gone over to one of the cages and I'm really trying to inspect the undead thing.
I'm repeatedly casting infestation, summoning bloat flies to consume the bodies on the ground.
Perfect. There's a whole bunch of flies in this room now. And
See,
flies,
my
maggots,
rats are
and
kind of like
fleas
like
everywhere.
my rats kind of like chasing them.
Flies and maggots and fleas.
You
Oh
are a
my!
shaman. Yeah, these undead are much like the other ones. They have parts sewn on or grafted onto them or replaced other missing parts. But they don't seem to have minds. They're just staring and maybe drooling a little bit because they want to eat your flesh.
Okay.
Like you do. I'd like to kind of see if I can like get my face up to the glass and see if I can see better what's moving on the other side.
You can. It's fairly easy to see, and when you press up close, you can see that the walls are not dark, they're red. This entire room
Oh.
is covered with blood splashed all over it, and these mechanical arms extend off of a top of a table, and they are playing with and throwing body parts around. There is no other door in that room except the one that you're on the side of looking through the glass. It roll a investigation
what the fuck
or
check?
perception.
I'll roll a perception check here. How's a 21? I don't think I want to see any closer, but let's look anyway.
Yeah, clearly there were bodies in here, but this thing has just literally ripped them apart. It looks like it's still trying to like saw and dissect something that's no longer there, and there's nothing else in this room. At least, probably, in my opinion, it doesn't look like there's anything that you want to go in and see.
Except the door.
Well, this door is closed, and there's no door behind it.
Okay,
It's just the end of the wing.
so we need to go back the way we came.
Or we need to figure out how to open that other door.
I pulled the pebble out of my pocket and I sort of showed it. Maybe this will help.
It's a rock.
It has the same symbol on it as the door.
Fair.
You have a better idea?
No.
Could
Let's
try
go.
the fucking weird abattoir, I guess.
No, let's go. Let's go. I'm gonna go. Bring your snacks. Let's go.
I will again look incredibly effective.
Oh,
And I will kind of pet one of my rats. Don't listen to her.
I'm gonna retrieve my dart out of the zombie's forehead or the.
Got it.
Yeah, and kind of like
you
shake it
also, I
off.
forgot to tell you, on the elf's body, you find a short sword and a dagger.
Are they rusted or old?
They're brand new. They're ready to use.
Hmm. Interesting.
The short sword looks like it was half pulled out of its scabbard.
Wonder if this guy was trying to escape too.
I think he was feeding the subjects. Prisoners? I don't know what you'd call them now. I feel like we're prisoners and they're subjects.
Patience.
Not anymore.
I'm
What-
done. Go open the door.
Let's go.
I'll press the pebble to the symbol.
As it gets within about a foot, the glyph glows, and the glyph on the door glows, and the door opens for you. You see a very long hallway, about 80 feet long, with a right-hand turn at the end. In
Anything
this
on the
hallway,
walls?
just these glowing crystals that some of them are not working, some of them are flickering. Maybe two in this whole thing are glowing steadily. But those of you with dark vision can see really it's just a hallway. There's nothing else in it.
Do any of us actually have dark vision?
I do.
I have 10 feet of blind sight.
I
For some reason, Dragonborn do not have dark vision.
I took blind fighting as my ranger fighting style option because I figured that would suit the rat catcher theme very well.
I have 60 feet, so
Yeah, so you can see, as far as you can see into this poorly lit corridor, there's nothing but corridor.
I can't see the end of it, but
Well, it is kind of pale lit. You can see all the way down there.
okay.
And even in the darker spots, there's nothing, there's no silhouettes of anything.
There are doors along the corridor?
Nope.
All right, I'm
There's
just
a
gonna
right-hand turn at the end.
let's go.
Sure,
Straight
it's-
shot.
I don't
sure
see
it's
anything.
perfectly safe.
I don't see anything. Let's go.
You start walking down this corridor. Is everybody coming?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. You go to the corridor, you approach the corner that turns right. Now, I want to remind you, when you woke up for the second time, you heard sounds of fighting and explosive spells going off, people shouting and crying and screaming, etc. But really, other than the elf, you haven't seen any signs of it.
Do we still hear those sounds?
No. No, it's been quiet since you left the room.
Okay.
So as you get to this corner, I'm supposing you peek around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Or do you want to send rats to do it? What are you going to do?
They unfortunately they're not those kinds of rats, so I will also be peeking around the corner. I don't see what they see and that stuff. They're not
Four little
familiar.
heads popping up. Boink, 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 boink. Down around
It's
the
more like
corner.
three little heads poking up, and then like 15 heads kind of poking.
Fall all over each other.
Not to make this not horrible. No funny stuff. All right, so you guys
Yeah.
peek around the corner, and you see in front of you the ceiling and walls have basically collapsed, and the tunnel is clogged with rubble.
Is it passable with work or is it not passable?
You'd have to go investigate.
I would like to investigate.
Okay. So you walk up. It's only about 15 feet down the corridor. It looks like with some heavy work, you could possibly pull enough rocks out to squeeze through the top.
I'm gonna turn around and ask, which of you is really strong? Because that's not me. I don't know what this arm can do.
Actually, since you said investigate, go ahead and roll investigation.
Hold on. Hold on. That's a 6.
Okay. You can see a couple, maybe parts of arms and legs underneath this rubble. Looks like the skin on the very few parts that you can see is gray and papery, and it's pretty clear that somebody dropped their ceiling on these undead.
How freshly undead are they? Are they still like moist or are they all shrivelly?
There are still like particles of dust floating around here from this thing falling down.
So it just happened. Okay.
The spells and explosions you heard before were probably at least partly this.
I'm gonna turn around and tell everybody it's collapsed, but I think we can get through. And then I'm gonna stand back because I'm not strong enough to really move much of anything. So
How big are the rocks? Are they like big rocks? Like smaller kind of rubble?
All manner. Like the ceiling just fell in. It was blown up
Fair
and
enough.
it fell down. So
Well, I'll start scrabbling at it, and I'll also summon my mage hand, and it can move anything. It can move stuff smaller than 10 pounds. So it'll start kind of
Sure.
moving away the smaller rubble as well. And I'll start scrabbling at it, much like a rat would.
and your rats can help too.
Yeah, a little bit.
Everybody's just digging at it, and you start to make a gap from whatever's left of the ceiling. You can see and hear through it. Go ahead and roll either investigation or perception. but tell me which one you're going with.
I'll take a perception check to see what's on the other side.
Okay.
I'm just gonna throw that die all around the board there. Let's try again. How's an 18?
Yeah, as you start making a hole big enough to see through, you see some things moving around on the far side of the rubble. What you see is about 10 feet beyond the end of the rubble are steel bars blocking the hallway and some undead, some of these shuffling creatures moving between you and these bars.
I'll kind of scrabble back out of the hole and whisper, that there's more of them on the other side. The zombie weirdos.
And this is the only way out. This is the only way we saw.
That or the blood room.
Uh-uh.
There was no door in the blood room.
No.
So there's enough room to see to the other side.
Yeah. If you get up top and you kind of cram your eye up against this little crack that he's created so far, you can see the tunnel continues for about 15 feet. About 10 feet from where the rubble stops, there are steel bars blocking the passage. And then there's another 5 feet behind that with a door right in the middle.
And between the rubble and the bars are these creatures.
Moving creatures, yeah.
It's like a zombie sandwich.
I would like to cast Flaming Sphere and
Through the
summon it
hole?
in the middle of these creatures and just start playing ping pong.
And how long does the flaming sphere last?
It's a minute of bouncing around doing fire damage.
Nice.
And how much damage does it do, roughly? What's the average?
Let's see here. A creature takes 2d6 fire damage on a failed save,
So
or half as
2d6
much.
is roughly 6 points.
Yeah, 6
per-
or 7 points.
So I'm going to say you can just roll it around there and burn them the fuck up.
Just liquids on. Ding ding.
So you guys see the Dragonborn climb to the top and mutter something, and he's kind of wincing back from the heat. You guys see light and heat. And then after a couple minutes, he crawls back down.
My cat nose catches the scent of everything
Burning
that is
flesh.
in. Yeah.
Yep.
Just sort of shrug and get back to scrabbling.
I was like, get back to work.
So
can-
in a few, 10, 15 minutes, you clear out enough space for y'all to climb through and slide down to the other side to these freshly roasted zombies.
I'm gonna pick across them and kind of wrinkle my nose like, ugh.
Yeah. And now you are faced with these steel bars, floor to ceiling, too narrow to squeeze through.
Is there any indication of the same sigil on the bars somewhere?
On the door
On the-
behind them on the other side.
But not on the bars or on the wall or anything like that?
Well, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Well, I guess. If you insist, I will investigate.
Please roll high.
I
wanna know
won't.
anything.
I'll roll a 10.
I can help.
Sure, roll it again.
Wow. Natural one.
Very helpful,
Well,
thank you.
As you guys sit there and kind of, how are we getting out of this? Ratcatcher and his rats are pouring all over the place and sniffing and checking. And just behind the bars, you see one little carving on the stone wall with the glyph. Just very small, behind the bars.
I will hold the pebble out to it.
You can't quite reach it with your arm, but your mage hand could.
Yeah, actually, just obviously for flavor, I'm gonna give it to a rat and have one of the rats scuttle over to it.
And the rat holds this thing in its mouth. It climbs up the wall. They light up. The wall slides back, and you see on the south side. You guys are going from west to east. The door is directly in the middle of the east wall in front of you behind the bars. And on the south wall, a door slides back. You see darkness.
Hmm.
Can't get to it yet.
What's between us and the one thing that just
Still
opened?
the bars.
Still the
Still
bars.
bars.
Okay.
Was everybody on this same side? I didn't hear Enoch climb through. But
Oh, I thought you said we
Uh,
all did.
Yeah, Enoch will definitely climb through.
who has
he's
the
going to-
highest passive perception? I think that was
I have
Sastra.
15.
Yeah. You hear a similar sound as the door slid, the wall slid back. You hear a similar, like almost an echo of it from someplace else.
Like there's another door.
Just hear a sound, like a scraping stone sound.
I'm just gonna let my kind of listen even closer. Try to use what senses I know I have. I don't know too much about myself, I guess, but I know I'm supposed to be able to tell those things. But I can't tell anything, so that's all I've got. I heard another sound, but I don't know from where. We should look. Is there any other... There's nothing else between the bars and the rubble. We're in this little space that's just...
Yep.
How far apart are the bars?
Let's say 6 inches. A centipede could probably get through them, but not a person.
What about someone like someone the size of a halfling? Do you think the size of a
No.
halfling could get through them?
No. It's only about
So
this wide. A skull
Enoch-
couldn't get through.
Is going to turn towards the Dragonborn. He's going to say, "Hey, you are a Dragonborn, yes?"
Observant.
Remind me, what is your breath again?
He takes a deep breath, looks at the bars, and just exhales his acid breath at the bars.
Okay.
It's only 2d6 acid damage. I don't know how much damage it's gonna do, but
Well, just roll damage. Let's see.
so one of the d6s has a 1 on it. The other d6 has a 1 on it. 2 points of acid damage.
Yeah, it doesn't do much. And
You'd think we're out of those now, like we should be done with that, but...
yeah, you think that it would take a very long time to burn them through with acid.
Well,
Even
Don't
if
worry,
it, you
I
rolled
can do that
sixes
once
on
an
it.
hour, so we'll be here a while.
Can you shoot that blast out of your mouth? Maybe it would...
Yeah,
Just-
he'll give it a shot. He's gonna blast the bars.
Roll damage.
Okay.
Not impossible. It's not very hard to hit a steel bar.
That is max damage, 10.
Much like the acid, it would take a whole lot of time to just pound the shit out of these bars. And that's only one bar. Of course, it would give you a foot, but you'd have to get the whole bar out. So, 10
Okay,
damage is good, but it's not that much on a steel bar.
back where we came from, we had said there was... back in the room where we got off the tables and headed this way, there was bone saws and instrumentation and
Yep.
vials of things. Would it be there? We'd killed everything, so heading back there, would that be a
Sure, there shouldn't be anything behind you.
I'm just gonna duck out and go back and see if there's any tools that we can.
Sure. As you slip down the other side of the rubble, you see there's a hole in the wall right next to you on the south side.
Hey guys! There's a hole in the wall.
Well, that seems convenient.
It could have been when we opened that door. I heard something. I heard something else open when you put the stone on the wall. I bet this was it.
Well, it's this impassable bars with the abattoir, so hole in the wall it is.
How big is the hole?
It's door size, exactly like the one y'all opened.
Okay.
I'll scrabble back out through the little hole.
Sure.
Don't forget your snacks.
Is anybody staying over by the bars?
No.
Okay. So you guys go in, and what it is a little side tunnel that goes around and behind the bars, and you are in front of the door now.
Okay. Is it, you said the hole opened up, so there's not like a door, it's just an opening?
Right. The wall just, so I guess, let me see if I can. Okay, so here's the tunnel you were in. It was blocked, but a secret door went open here, which takes you right past the bars and out
Into.
in front of the next door.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I will hold the pebble out of my pocket and hold it up to the next door.
Okay. You see a staircase going up.
Okay, up is better than down.
Not necessarily.
Any direction's better than the abattoir.
Yeah, this is true. Okay, so I'll go up. Start going up the stairs. Is it dark? Is it lit?
There is one light on up top, so it's pretty dark, but you don't see anything on the stairs. You just go up about one floor, and then there's a door at the top.
Is the door locked?
Well, do you have the glyph? Why don't you try it?
I'm gonna try the door without the glyph.
It opens.
Hey!
Yeah, so as you guys get to the top, it's another stone tunnel. It's about 40 feet long. And much like the first one, about 20 feet down it, there's a corridor off to the left. And at the end of this, there's a double door.
The tunnels and the doors and the tunnels and the doors. Where are we?
I'm beginning to hate this place.
I already hate this place. They stole my arm.
I could go either way.
Kinda like it.
It's quiet.
It's really
So-
nice down here.
I'm just gonna
King of the zombies now.
I'm just gonna give him like a look, and then with my little arm just
If I didn't know any better, I thought either one or two of you would have lived here, but
not me.
Too dry.
It's not moist
Can't
enough for
afford a place
you.
this big in the city. You crazy?
Okay, so there's
I
double.
Really prefer more moisture.
So it's you said double doors. Are they like the other ones, like the surgery kind of cafeteria
No,
doors?
they look completely different. This one is a double door made of wood, and there is no glyph on the door.
Do we? I'm gonna stop and listen. Do I hear anything on the other side?
You hear something.
But what?
It is, it's kind of a wet, munching noise.
Moist.
Oh, wait. You're going to the double door.
Yeah.
You passed up the hallway on the left. Okay. As you get to the intersection...
Go in there.
Yeah, sorry. I thought you were listening through the top of the stairs door. No. As you get to the hallway that turns left, there is a person sitting on the floor. Just inside this left hallway. As you look down the hallway, It's about 30 feet long with another door at the end, but right in the middle of the floor, sitting in a puddle of blood. I could say red liquid, but everybody knows what blood looks like.
Kool-Aid.
Facing away from you, just sitting there, you hear the sound of wet munching. It's a small person.
Munching on something?
Sounds like, but you can't see. They're sitting on the floor.
Why can't I see?
You can't. You can't see their face.
Oh,
their back's
okay.
towards you.
Oh, I don't like that.
Hey, kill it. Kill it while it's not looking at you.
No. No. Let's just keep going. It's little.
I light produce flame in my hand.
Here, do you need a dagger?
What if it's eating a sandwich? And it got hurt.
There's nothing down here that eats sandwiches. Except me. I love sandwiches.
It's too little to hurt anything. Let's just keep going.
Hey, you, in there.
Doesn't move. It just continues.
It's evil. I should produce flame at it.
I'm a no.
All right, roll to hit. It's not moving, so you get advantage. Sitting
Nice.
Not a 1.
17.
Hey.
there. Oh yeah, that hit.
3 points of fire damage.
It throws up its arms and just kind of keels over and burns away. It catches on fire and dies.
We'll never
Turns to
know.
Enoch. That's another one for me.
I don't care. I don't care if you kill it, or the cat kills it, or the rat guy kills it. As long as it's dead and we're alive.
Why don't you go check it out?
Why me?
You're the one that wanted it dead.
Don't
Go
we all
look at
want
it.
it dead?
No.
Depends on what it was.
We don't know now, do we? No, we don't.
All
So I'm
right.
just going to keep going.
Alright, fine.
So,
You go walk over.
Ah.
It's only
Yeah,
about
he'll-
15 feet away.
He'll walk over.
It looks like a halfling or gnome-sized person, but as it's laying there, you can see the entire front of its head. The skin stops like right here, and it's just a metal skull, and the jaw is still going. And the intestines are through the mouth. It's just eating its own gut.
oh no. Yeah, I'm glad you killed it. Okay.
Dan is very glad he's not here.
Oh my gosh.
I told you
Ew.
nothing down here eats sandwiches.
Okay, well, okay.
Except
But
me. I love
speaking of sandwiches, so this side corridor, the left-hand corridor goes about 30 feet, but on the door is a plaque that says Cantina.
Okay.
In the other direction, if you'd gone straight, it was only about 15 more feet to these big wooden double doors.
Anybody hungry?
anymore.
I could eat.
All right, let's go there.
Going down this hall. Okay.
Yes.
So you walk up to the door marked Cantina. It is also not a door, but it's a jar.
Okay.
I mean, it's a door. It's slightly open.
Okay. Gotcha. But okay, so
Well, Sean did it first.
so let's go. Okay, before
Bridge, would you?
we do anything,
Probably. You're pretty smart.
Thanks.
before I do anything, I'm going to listen. I don't want to hear any more wet munching noises.
You hear some wet munching. You turn around. I'm kind of chewing on it.
No more moist munchies.
See what you hear. Go ahead and roll perception.
Okay.
That's a different stream.
That's a terrible joke. And parents believe that.
Moist
enough
Munchies
love.
is a completely different channel.
21.
You definitely hear something in there. There's no talking. I think what you would hear is a very soft crying.
Like human crying or
Yeah,
okay.
humanoid. Anything that can actually cry.
I'm-
I mean, dragons can cry, I guess.
I
but
mean, I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna.
Strong men also cry, Lebowski. Strong men also cry.
I'm gonna turn around and tell everybody I hear something's crying. I'm going, and I open the door.
That sounds like a bad idea.
I know.
Is anyone else going in with her?
I'll follow.
For the show, yeah.
This room is large. It's 30 by 40. It's a big room. It looks like a cafeteria almost, with tables and chairs. But as soon as you walk in, two of the creatures from before are in there, and there's two of them, so there's four creatures. These other two don't look quite dead, but they have lots of body parts that are similar to your arm. Tubes going through them, and one of them is just standing there crying. But as you walk in, they all lock eyes on you. I'd like you to roll initiative.
Sorry.
I still hate that.
It's hateable.
14. No, that's not what that is.
Ugh.
7.
5.
Okay. 7, 5. What else?
11. Big 11.
16.
Okay.
Oh, look at you, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Enoch.
My
Oh.
dice don't have big numbers on them.
That's double digits.
Who was the 11?
Merc.
Ratcatcher.
Ratcatchier. It's French.
And then a
Ratcatcher.
zombie.
Catcher.
Then, who got a 7?
Sastra.
Astra. And then, wait a minute. What did Nick Bar get? 5. Yeah. Well, still, way better than these other two critters.
Are they still crying?
Yes, they're really unhappy with their lives.
I don't blame you, buddy.
I'm really unhappy with their lights too, if I'm being perfectly frank with you.
Sure.
Well, okay.
I was promised sandwiches. There are no sandwiches in this cantina.
You might find sandwiches.
Can I
have
before
to
we
look
do
at
anything, can I call out, are you okay? And kind of like show my arm?
On your turn you can,
Okay.
because we are
In initiative.
initiative. So Enoch. You see
5.
these 4 things. 2 of them, or 1 of them, is straight up crying. But all of them lock eyes on you and start moving in your direction.
Yeah, no, fuck that shit. He's gonna fire an Eldritch Blast at it.
Do you want to go at the not quite undead or the fully undead? There's 2 of each.
Let's go with the undead.
Okay, let me just name them because they're clearly zombies. The other ones that aren't quite zombies are called altered. So I'm going to just use the terminology. And it's also 9 o'clock. Why don't we, before Enoch goes, why don't we take a short pause? Does that seem okay to everybody?
Yeah.
And leave people just chewing their nails, ready to see this fight happen.
Okay. We
I
can
would like to be chewing a sandwich.
go chew a sandwich. We'll be back. All right. Okay. We're up. Okay. Yeah.
All right,
Check out.
guys. I wanted to give a shout out to the person who wrote this adventure. They call themselves Omnix. They have a Ko-fi page or a coffee page or something like that. But this is a free adventure that they put out there on Reddit. So it's called The Escape. And it's got a bunch of old, tortured looking medical equipment on the cover. And so thank you to Omnix for playing The Escape. And I barely had to alter it because I really liked it. If the Creep Patrol ever rides again, we won't do anything like this. They'll actually be in the world. But let's see if the escape can happen.
Says you.
Oh. All right.
Meow.
Dungeon
I
Delve
live
forever.
here now. Ah.
I claimed it.
My zombies, my sandwiches.
Okay. I think we were Enoch staring down 4 creatures that were coming your way. Fire when ready.
All right. Eldritch Blast, go.
You definitely see the whites of their eyes, or the blood shots of their eyes.
I rolled a 2 for a total of 6. Does that hit?
Well, that's a miss. That's clearly a miss. That was a terrible shot. It goes flying randomly through the room and busts the far wall. And that brings us to the first zombie, who runs up to, I guess Sastra was in the doorway. So, hi Sastra. This zombie is going to shamble up to you and take a swat. Ooh, 18 on the die.
Oh god, that hits.
4 points of punching in the face damage.
4?
4.
Okay.
Rat catcher Merc.
I would like to head towards the closest not zombie, the alt,
Yep.
because they seem scarier to me.
Okay.
And I am going to take a swing.
Okay. The crying one or the non-crying one?
You know, the non-crying one.
Okay.
I can't. I just. I'm gonna wait to put the other one out of its misery. 7 though.
Let
Probably
it cry a
not
little bit
gonna
longer.
put
No, it's-
anybody out of any misery at all, except for maybe me into my misery.
7 intensifies the misery.
Yeah.
So yeah, you take a swing. You don't stab him. It is
I
the
do
zombie's turn. Let's do the one oh, you didn't go up to the zombie. So the other zombie closes in on Nick Barr, who also walked in the room. It takes a swing, does a 12 hit Nick Barr.
It does not.
Okay, so it misses. Sastra.
I'm going to approach the crying one.
So you're leaving the range of the zombie
Oh,
that punched you in the head.
okay. I'm not going to approach. I'm going to call out.
Okay.
And is that an action or do I just?
Just speak when you
Yeah.
wish.
Okay. I'm gonna just see if I can get. Can I tell if it's a person, an elf,
An elf is a person.
Okay.
Here
A
today,
human.
These are not people.
A human.
A human, an elf. It's it looks like it's probably a human female.
Okay. I'm just gonna call out and just I'm like you. Are you? You don't have to. You can come with us. I can hold my arm up.
Roll a persuasion. Let's see if these things can be persuaded. That's
Okay.
cool.
So, 17.
It halts. And it's going to take its turn to look at you. All right. Anything else? That was not your action or your...
No, and I'm right with the already dead zombie guy, right?
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna smack him with my quarterstaff. Like,
Do it.
okay. Oh, let's see. That's probably not gonna hit. A 10?
That it.
Oh, okay. That's
Just a
nice.
zombie.
Okay.
No, it's horrible. It's a scary, nasty zombie with tubes of green liquid spewing through its body and
That's
mechanical parts.
9 points of bludgeoning damage,
All right.
and then I will do an unarmed strike to follow. Ooh, that was good. That would be a 23 to hit,
Oh yeah.
and I can't read this die. 6 points of
What part
bludgeoning
of your
damage.
body are you using for these unarmed strikes?
Fist.
Is this knee?
Minus
oh, fist.
my
Straight
left.
up fist.
Yeah.
What was the damage?
That would be a 6. 6
Nice.
points.
So you just dropped a 15 on this fella. He's spinning his head around a little bit.
All the while yelling, "You can come with us!" So,
Nick Bar.
So I have a zombie in my face.
Oh,
smack him. Don't just dime attack
So,
him.
lifting this femur that's carved with runes, just a little bit of dribble of breath weapon comes out and drops onto the femur as I cast Shillelagh. And then just swing across the face.
Bada, bada,
Okay.
bada.
So this will be 14 plus 2 plus 3, so
Oh, yeah.
19.
you had me at 14.
Get in there. Maxed out the damage for 11 points of damage.
Wow, that's a good swat. Okay.
We are not playing.
The one that was crying,
Mm-hmm.
it paused in its advance, and it's just looking at you. It says, that's about all I can scrape out. It seems like your words got to it. The other one is going to charge up at... Let's see, who should we go for? There are 3 of you in the room. I assume that Enoch is behind everybody. We're going for Sastra.
We always go for Sastra.
Oh, well,
Lost my arm. Everybody attacks me. Fine, whatever.
So I did go over to it and stabbed it. So is it leaving my square? To
oh,
go
right,
attack
right. No, I completely forgot. No, it's going after you.
I was just waiting to see if
He was just gonna let me take it.
I just forgot.
no, I
'cause
was gonna
I-
take the AOO,
Speak-
and then I was gonna let you take it. Yeah.
Turns out a 22 probably hits the rat
Turns
catcher
out
bird.
that 100% hits. Yeah. Yeah.
So one of these mechanical arms just swings, uppercuts, and it scrapes up your whole torso for 9 points of damage.
Ouch.
Not nice.
And that brings us back to the top of the order. Enoch, you see this. These guys are laying into your friends. And your friends are giving back just as well.
I'm sorry, friends?
Your acquaintances.
I don't know these people.
Fellow dead people.
Oh, dead people?
So I'm interested to know.
Yep.
I wonder. I would like to make an intelligence-like check to know if these creatures, these altered creatures, are considered humanoid.
Roll it. Roll Arcana or Intelligence.
Okay. I rolled an 18.
You absolutely know they are humanoids.
Okay.
They're not undead.
Then Enoch would like to cast Calm Emotions.
Aw.
Okay.
So each humanoid, a 20-foot radius from me, must make a charisma saving throw. So he's gonna walk over to these altered and hopefully capture both of these in the calm emotion.
If you enter the room and kind of skirt the wall and like squeak around the edge, you can get them.
Yeah.
But you'll be fully in the room then.
Yes.
Okay. So the first one rolls a 6. Oh my gosh, they can't possibly have straight up charisma rolls. Hold on, please. Oh yeah, -4. So the first one rolls a 2, and the second one rolls a 6. So they're horribly disfigured and really weird parts, and both of them fail.
Okay. So I'm just going to make both of them indifferent. Since they don't seem to be charmed or frightened, I'll just make them indifferent to our group, and that will last up to a minute. So 10 rounds.
Does it happen now or on their turn?
It happens now.
They both
Since they
just
failed.
the crying one just sits down, just plops down on the floor and starts crying harder. And the other one just kind of looks at Ratcatcher Merkin and turns slowly away, even though he's been damaged. Okay, anything else, Enoch?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, Zombie 1 goes for Sastra again. Misses. Ratcatcher Merc.
Almost seems a kindness to slit their throats, but I will not, and I will stab the others on the unoccupied zombie.
Okay.
Oh, I
Get
don't care
murked.
about them. I just need to know where the fuck we are, and maybe they know a thing or two.
Yes, they look very intelligent and helpful.
What did you... Are you
24.
attacking? 24, absolutely hits.
Okay, and again, when I hit, the surge of rats kind of pours off of my arm and over its body. And that will be a total of 9 points of damage from both the rats and the stabbing.
You guys are a horror show just as yourselves. As these rats boil over this zombie's face and start eating it, the zombie falls to the ground.
Just call this the Merc Patrol.
Mm-hmm. And the zombie gets to
Get the
try to
creep.
stand back up. And it starts to get up. The rats are just still chewing it. It's back on its feet, just feebly trying to do stuff. Sastra. The zombie on you is damaged, but not falling down.
Okay. I'm like right next to it, right? It's right there
Yeah.
with me. Okay. So before I use my quarterstaff, I'm gonna kind of study it just a little bit, kind of figure out where it looks weak.
You popped some of its stitches earlier. Some of the green fluid is leaking out of these tubes. It's got like a shiny metal ball for one of its eyeballs. It's got in its chest there is a glass tank sloshing around with some of that green liquid. Looks like maybe if you tag it right there and bust out its heart.
That's kind of what I think I'm gonna go for with the.
Roll an intelligence check though, just to see.
Why is it always gotta be intelligence?
Sorry. Because you're trying to figure things out.
That was a 17.
Oh yeah.
Minus 1's a
okay.
16. Yeah.
So let me tell you. They always have a chance to stand back up. Say this memory came back to you. Unless they take radiant energy. Or if you burn their heads off.
Okay. So I turn and say, I can get them down, but one of you has to burn it.
Or, I mean, it does have to make a saving throw to get back up, so you
Right.
could kill it.
Okay. Well,
You
I'm
take
gonna.
long, and I just kind of take a look at the dragon bone.
Y'all seem to like to do that, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to go for that glass heart with
Sure.
my quarterstaff. Ooh, nice. 15 plus 5, 20.
That hits.
Okay, that is my D. That sucks. 5 bludgeoning damage, but then I will. To use flurry of blows, I have to spend a key point, right?
You would, and then you would get one additional unarmed strike.
Okay. So I will do 1 unarmed strike with my fist.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna hit the same heart area. That's gonna be a 14.
That hits.
Okay. And oh, it's so dark. Ooh, 7 points.
7. So you shatter the heart, and it falls over backwards and doesn't move. Doesn't even twitch.
Okay.
It just goes down.
Okay.
Nick Bar.
So we've got one on the ground, not moving.
One completely
One's-
dead.
One standing up, covered in rat,
Rough. Mm-hmm.
and 2
Kind of not caring. Don't want to
not
fight.
caring. So I'll pivot the club to the other hand and summon the green fire and throw a produced flame at the one that's being attacked by rats. And that will be 9 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
Oh, whew.
Do the rats get burned up, or are they immune to regular stuff?
Oh, if it's
They're-
up to me, they're getting burned.
They're spirit rats. I don't know what happens to spirit
They
rats.
would probably sort of squeal and move out of the way. They're
Okay.
probably their fur is probably singed.
5 points of fire damage.
Yeah, this thing goes down and lights up. Let me roll just for shits and giggles. Yeah, he's done. So, as the battle furor settles, you guys hear off to the just north of the door that you're standing in front of as you came in, the wall opens up. There's a secret door, and there's a woman, a small woman looking out of it. It's a gnome woman. She says, "Quick, get in here before more come. Come."
Okay.
Oh my god, that one's coherent.
Do the altered ones, are they still with us, or?
They're just sitting like in a stupor almost, that they just literally don't care about anything.
I'm gonna run past the girl and I'm gonna grab her by the arm and try to pull her up to come with.
She'll come with you, like just stumbling along.
Seems like a terrible idea.
Shh.
I'll push the other one over as I walk past it.
That seems like a terrible idea.
Yeah, it's got like these weird cogs, a row of cogs sticking out of its chest, and they're all turning at different speeds. And it crashes down, and what's left of his head, he kind of looks over at you. Just doesn't care.
And then I'll go into the gnome hidey hole.
Okay.
Me
Title
too.
your sex tape.
Is anybody not going into the gnome hidey hole room?
Let's all go to the gnome hidey hole.
Yeah, it's not a hidey hole. It's actually a lab. So she pulls the door, which perfectly seams into the wall. It was a secret door, and it's filled with alembics, mortars, and other alchemical equipment. The room is devoid of any tools of torture that you saw in the operating room that you woke up in. This room is clean and seems to be just straight up science. And this woman says, "Here from upstairs? How did you get down here? Are you okay?" She looks at you. "Oh, you're hurt. There must be some way. We should all get out of here as quick as we can."
Do you know how to get out of here?
What the fuck is here?
Well, there are creatures, as you just saw, there are creatures, and we probably should put them out of their misery on our way out. Lady Cedra, I don't know where she got to, but hopefully we can find her on the way. Did you see her? Doesn't matter. And she crosses to the west side of the room and carefully pushes open the other secret door and looks out into the hall that you were coming down. You can see over her shoulder. And she digs in her pocket. This symbol will get us past into the office and probably upstairs. And she stops and looks directly into the face of Ratcatcher Merc. Wait a second. I know you. I've seen you before. But
Where am I?
you're dead. I remember the gravediggers bringing you in. All of you. She drops the symbol on the floor and runs to the other side and gets in the corner behind the bookshelf. "No. Mother, save us. The dead have risen. The living shall fall. What they said was true. Oh, I have followed the damned. I've followed Cedra. No, go. And she starts crying in the corner.
Who said that? Who said that?
The little gnome lady.
No,
saying,
I'm
"Oh."
asking her. Who said that? That's what they said. She said they said. So
She's completely unresponsive and hiding her eyes and behind the bookshelf.
I pick up the thing she
And
dropped.
picks up her key.
Can you do the con thing again so we can figure out where the fuck we are?
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose I could. But then I'd be out of leveled spells.
Don't do
Oh,
that.
to hell with it.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know. I don't feel dead, at least. Maybe this gnome woman is hysterical from this place.
You
Who's to
guys
say that she
looking,
isn't lying to us?
looking at each other, your skin doesn't look dead. You're not undead.
Can I hear a cog in my chest when I listen?
I feel like everybody's looking at me though because I'm feeling this little kinship with who I've lovingly now called Amy, my little mute altered friend, and I feel like I'm bridging between the "get me the hell out of here, what is this?" and "I'm one of them now." She sort of tugged at that in me.
Well, this person isn't speaking. She's just kind of like tears are still coming
Right.
down her face. She's just standing there.
So
I'm just gonna take her key and go through the secret door that she opened.
So this next, so going through the secret door brings you back into that original hall, and just to your left, 15 feet away, are the two wooden doors, and there's a slightly different glyph on it. It's still 3 concentric triangles, but inside of one thicker circle.
And does that match what she had?
Yeah, the little stone she gave you.
Leave the dead weight this way.
I want to know where the fuck we are.
well, let's
I'll
go.
just kind of shoulder past her. One of my rats like hiss at her on the way out.
Yeah, she's as far away from y'all as she can get.
All right, let's go. I'm bringing Amy. So.
Okay. You're just kind of pulling her, and she's
Mm-hmm.
walking because you're pulling her.
Honestly, she's more agreeable than the gnome woman.
So you
Worst
open
case
up the
scenario,
door.
she's a shield. So let's go. So
Yep, open up the door.
All right. What you reveal is an office. However, it's a very fucked up office. There are 3 cages. 2 of them are sealed. One of them is literally ripped open. There's a bookshelf. There's a desk with a chair. And through some bars on the wall is a spiral staircase going up.
what is it with all these bars?
It's a barred gate. In one of the cages is an adult. Altered, jam-packed with pipes and hoses filled with this green liquid. Another one is a child. All of his limbs replaced by automaton limbs. The top of his head, the brain exposed with wires and tubes. It doesn't seem to be aware. Neither of them really do. The last one, the bars are bent open from outward from the inside, and there's nothing there.
I'm gonna look around the room to
Not
see.
finished.
Okay.
Yeah. On the floor is a body.
It's
And now you
worse.
can look around.
Now I can look around. Okay. Does the body look like it was an altered person, or the leavings of an altered person?
Good question. The body is feels out of place. The clothes, a set of rich robes covers the person head to toe, shoes of the finest leather, and a hat with a feather in it.
She's got a feather. That must be Lady Cedra. That's fancy shit.
Except it's a male person.
That's not Lady Cedra at all.
You don't know that.
Fair.
Pronouns.
I'm gonna look around to see if there's anything else that's been disrupted, or just is this noble person looking on the ground mutilated or wounded, or
Seems to have taken a blow to the head. There is a depression on the temple.
are they dead?
You want to do?
I would like to do a
check, or-
medicine check. Yes.
Absolutely.
Where to go? That would be a 15.
They are dead.
Okay. They're
Bar
dead.
would like to be looking through the desk to try and find a way to open the bars.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an investigation check, please.
Well, that's a 3 on the die. Let's add my bonus. So 3.
No key in the desk. Nothing in the desk that seems like it could get you through bars.
Are there
Is there
bookshelves?
a different stone on the corpse?
Mm. Good
Roll
call.
an investigation to check out the corpse.
15 on the die, so 60.
Nice. You find a note on the
Oh, I
corpse.
like notes. I'll read it.
The note reads, "For the good people. Should the plague ail you and there is nowhere to find aid, come to the temple where good Lady Cedra provides. No one will be turned down, and all shall get help they deserve."
The temple. I'm gonna look at
Shit
Amy.
going on.
I'm gonna look at Amy,
think we
and
got help.
I'm gonna look at Amy and sort of shake her a little bit, and like, do you know where the temple is?
Roll a charisma. about persuasion?
Yay.
Good.
16.
She lifts her head and looks at the gate behind which is the stairway, and she looks up for a couple seconds, and then she looks back at you. That's what you get.
I told you she was useful.
I'm sorry. How was that useful?
The temple, Lady Cedra. She's telling us it's up there. There's stairs right behind those bars. You look unconvinced.
That's because I'm not convinced.
Do you have a better idea?
I'd like to look around the bars for the 1 circle and 3
Sure.
triangle symbol.
Yeah,
around
it's
on the
easy
wall.
without even a roll. You see that there's a little inset, like almost like where you could slide a box in, and on that little, like an inset shelf, and there's a key lying there close to the gate in the wall.
I'd like to pick that up.
Yeah,
Unlock the gate.
it's out of arm reach if you're on the other side of the gate, but yeah,
I have rats.
the gate is not locked. But this
That
is the
makes it
gate
even
key.
easier. I take the key anyway.
Yeah, why
And
not?
also open the gate.
Mm-hmm. So there's stairways leading up, a staircase.
Okay, I'm gonna.
I
Is there?
have
Are
the
there?
feeling this is about to be really bad PR for us guys.
If there's a chair in the room, I'm gonna set Amy in the chair because I really don't want to drag her up the stairs. I'll come get her if it's something that it might benefit her.
Okay, you push her down into the chair behind the desk, and she puts her hands on the desk, and it's like she's at work.
Okay.
She's
Stay
sitting at
there,
the desk.
Amy. Okay.
There are no windows to look out of, so she's just sits there.
No distractions. Get your work done. Okay, let's go.
Enoch is going to shape change into that gnome that we saw.
Perfect.
Smart.
You see like his entire figure completely go black. You can almost see like little dark curly tendrils, and as it spreads throughout his body, it sort of condenses him and he shrinks, and his color emanates again from the center and spreads out, and he transforms into this gnome woman that you all saw.
Okay.
Hello, but
So
that's fucking weird.
But
you
I-
behind this?
I think you should go first. She should. Gnome lady.
Yes, so he's going to start sounding like the gnome lady as well. He says, I'm a shape changer. I know at least that much. I will go first.
Can confirm. Yes. I'll follow. I'll go right after.
Okay. You climb to the top of the stairs and find one door.
Enoch opens the door.
Okay. You see a hallway. There's a door on your right, a door on the left, and a right turn. After 10 feet, the hallway turns right.
Now, are these stone hallways, or has this like given way to a different kind of architecture?
That's a good question. I would say these are more plastered and not just raw stone or stone block anymore. There's actual finishing on the walls.
Okay.
I'd like to listen at the door to the left.
Okay, so you go out in the hall. To get to the door on the left, it's like right at the end of Carter. So you have to go out into the... You have to go around the corner, or you have to... let me start over. It's making no sense. 10 feet. There's a door on the right, and another 10 feet in at the end of this corridor that joins.
Where the hall. Okay.
So
I
it's
see.
out in the open. You'd have to go out.
We'll try the door on the right first if that's closer
Okay.
to me.
So you listen at that door. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
12.
Yeah. You don't hear any noise.
I'd like to try to ease the door open.
It opens right up. It's kind of even a swinging door. You just push it open. Looking in, the room is clean. Shows no sign of damage, combat, or death. In stark contrast to what you've seen below, the bright walls seem to be almost blinding you after your time spent underground. For only now you realize that no previous room had any windows, as you notice few of these around the walls. Surprisingly, all of the windows have metal bars, making it impossible to leave through them.
I don't know if that's too surprising, but there's metal
This
bars.
is- This room has posters. Let me tell you what the posters say. It's filled with chairs and benches, allowing lots of people to sit, but there's nobody in here. On the few tables, there are parchments. Some are posters about a plague going through the city. Others are invitations to this temple, just like the one you found on the noble's body, asking people to come here for aid.
It's trap.
What's outside the windows?
Good question. You guys look out the windows and you can see that you're in a large city. That's pretty much all. You see buildings and stuff. You're up above it, looking down like you're on a hilltop.
Do we see people?
Maybe one or two people roaming far, far away, but it looks like the streets are very still and quiet.
What if
How far apart are the bars in the window?
Maybe 2 inches.
So I could leave.
It would be tough. It
I
would
could
even
turn
be
into
tough for
a
a
bird.
giant. Oh, okay. Yeah, you could probably leave.
you could at least go out and see where we are, and we could hope you'd come back.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
I don't know you.
To quote, I believe it was the wonderful Enoch. Friends.
Ah, god damn it.
I guess we need to go to the next door then.
Okay.
This room does have another door opening onto that hallway that runs to the right, so you could go back out and go to the door on the left, or go out this north door which opens into that corridor.
I'd like to listen to that.
Yeah.
Okay. You can roll a perception check again.
How's a 17?
Silent.
Silent. Alright, well, I will ease the north door open.
It swings open. So what you see is this hallway that turned to the right. You can look down to your left and see the door that you wanted to listen to before. Straight across from you is another door, and to the right is a double door. Some choices.
Double doors.
I mean, I like double doors.
Double doors seem to indicate like a entrance or exit. I'm going toward the double doors. Slowly, so if somebody can stop me if they want to.
Nope.
You come out into the hall, not a peep. It's dead silent. You don't see any blood on the floor. You don't see any signs of explosions or chunks taken out of the walls.
I'm gonna go very stealthily.
It's all painted white and sterile and quiet.
I'm gonna be quiet too.
Sneak up. Roll a stealth check.
I hate everything about this.
That would be a 13.
You sneak up to these double doors. You look back over your shoulder. Your friends are still in the room, looking up, staring at you.
All the little heads out the door.
Yeah.
I'm doing great.
You're about between 15 and 20 feet from them inside that waiting room.
Waiting room.
That's where you were with all the chairs.
Oh, okay. But I'm at the double door now.
You're at the door.
Okay, I would like to listen at the door to see if I hear anything on the other side.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a perception check.
14 plus... Ooh, 19.
Oh, you hear stuff.
Oh.
You hear smacking, wet sounds, crunching. And it's loud. Louder than any of the others. You also hear strange... might be talking. You hear voices, but incoherent.
I'm going
You
to...
wandered right into a fucking Warhammer 40k ritual.
I'm gonna...
Horrible.
I'm gonna stealthily pad back down the hallway to my friends. I said it. And tell them what I heard. That there's someone's eating another really big sandwich in there and people are talking. Though I don't think it's the kind of sandwich we want, but I don't know, where else are we gonna go? Did we look in the other room?
Oh, we were waiting on you.
Well, I went and checked that. That's the double doors, but there's another room we haven't listened to, right?
Yeah, we can listen at the north. It's like right there,
Mhm.
right? So we can
Yeah.
listen at that north door.
Perception check. Who's doing the listening?
I'll listen.
So you came out into the hall.
Sure.
Okay.
12.
Silence.
I don't listen so good. Yeah. Well, it's totally silent, so I'll go ahead and ease that north door open.
You open it with the knob. It's a closet with storage equipment and cleaning equipment.
Nick Bar, Enoch, maybe you should come out in the hall with us.
I'm good.
I pick up some of the cleaning supplies. We can pretend to be the cleaning crew and
Oh,
get out of here.
let's do it. Come on.
Yeah, I'll join them in the hall, heading towards
Thinking
the double
about
doors.
tiny spider form ready to bolt out the window. Okay.
Lizard. So, okay. I guess we've got to go where the big sandwich noises are coming from.
Mm-hmm.
These doors don't seem to have a locking mechanism. Looks like they are similar to the other ones with the push, like hospital or kitchen doors, but there's no glyph or lock or anything.
Could
You
I
just go right through.
very slowly open it just enough to peek out?
Okay. Roll another stealth check. I mean, I'm guessing you're doing it stealthily.
I'm trying. Yeah, that's why I'm like barely opening it. This is 12 plus 17.
I just barely kick the door open. Just very delicately.
Just gonna.
You push this door open, and the first sense that hits you is smell. It smells like death. It also smells like sulfur.
So magical death.
Are you going to keep going till you see something?
I'm going to slowly come back and tell everybody it smells like magical death.
Oh,
I'll go in the room.
You heard the sounds a lot louder actually when you go.
Dragonborn
Magic
just
sounds great.
I'm just gonna be like,
just kicks fuck it.
Nick Bar, you're just barging in.
Yep.
Okay.
Leroy Jenkins, let's go.
As Nick Bar slams the door open,
I said, fuck this shit, I'm out!
you see this creature that is
Here we go.
covered with eyeballs, mouths that seem to be talking, while other mouths all over it are eating parts of dead people. But there's also mechanical arms and legs, and actual arms and legs sticking out of this thing in lots of directions, and all of the eyes, or well, some of the eyes at first latch onto the door that opened up, and then all of the eyes, and you hear whispering and guttural growling coming out of all these mouths. And let's go ahead and roll some initiative. It's also oozing the green liquid and standing in a puddle of it.
Don't like the green liquid.
That helps.
Good.
14.
Dead people sandwich with some green mustard.
8.
Okay, hang on. Let me find.
Am I rolling a d10? Like,
Just a question. Have you rolled above a 10?
no! Not a single. Oh, wait, one
you
attack
did.
roll was in the 20s.
Ugh.
Okay, so
I've done more damage than I have, like, rolled skills.
okay. Anybody above 20? Anybody above 15? No?
14.
Okay, 14's good. So let's see. Sastra goes first.
I don't
Anybody
think.
above 10?
11.
Okay, good, good. So we got Enoch. And then we have Ratcatcher. And then bringing up the rear, we have
The guy that opened the door.
Hoodoo Boy, the master of hoodoo,
The voodoo druid.
shaman.
Also least.
Okay. This should be fun. This creature
For some definitions of fun.
actually doesn't go first. Sastra, you're up first.
Haha.
Well, you know what you're gonna do.
I know what I'm gonna do.
You're gonna monk.
I am gonna monk. I'm gonna do some dope monk shit. But this time, no, I'm gonna go at it with the quarterstaff first because I don't want to touch it.
Did you say calmly?
Calmly? No.
Calmly. Oh, what'd you say?
I said dope monk shit, and I'm going to
Okay.
use my quarterstaff because I don't want to touch it.
Gotcha.
Because it looks gross.
You step up with your Q staff. Let's see what happens.
18 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. T8. Yeah. 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
10.
Yep.
Okay.
And then I'm going to do an unarmed strike with my foot
Okay.
because I don't want to touch it. Ha ha
But
ha.
it's just a paw. You are touching it.
I know. 22.
22 hits.
Okay. And
And we
1d.
get stuck and makes a splorch.
Hey,
Oh, it's
Come on,
definitely
team.
scorchy.
Put like stuck in the eye.
7 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And then
17 so far.
okay. And then I can spend a key point to do flurry of blows, right?
You can.
Okay, so I'm gonna do that.
Use the metal hand.
But
Just
yeah.
Put my drawing of this into um, the Discord. So sorry, anybody watching this won't get to see my picture, but
Well,
I just put it in Discord.
Okay. 16 with flurry of blows.
16 hits.
And how do I do damage on that?
It's the same as
Just
the
your
one
unarmed
before.
strike.
Okay, same
Unarmed
as my
strike.
unarmed strike. Okay. Nope, that's a 4. Wrong one. That is 6 points.
Nice. You did 23 damage just now. So
Meow, bitches.
this cat steps up, spins this little quarterstaff, and just baseball bats this thing right across the midriff, right above the waist, kind of all these mechanical arms and flesh and blood legs, and bust it in the gut, right across a pair of teeth that are growing out of its side, and teeth go flying, and green ooze and blood goes flying. Then the cat just driving into the same spot. You hear things breaking, and there's definitely some splorching happening.
The last hit, if I just say, that's for Amy! And then I back up.
So
Seems
now
like we
it's
could
the
let the cat finish this.
turn.
Sit down and eat popcorn.
The one of the teeth that you punched or hit is going to reach out and try to bite you. Does a 10 hit you?
Nope.
No, but it also rips across with one of its mechanical arms and slashes at you for a 23.
Yes.
So you take 9 points of slashing damage as these mechanical claws just rake across your chest.
Okay.
Enoch.
Ina will do something.
Something cool.
How about doing something?
I'm a warlock. I cast Eldritch Blast.
That's something.
Ooh, I rolled a 19 on the die
That
for
hits.
Okay. Let's see here. 5 points of force damage.
So picking the same spot that the cat was just pounding on, and chunks, gobbets of flesh kind of fly up and plop wetly to the ground, and this thing starts screaming. All of its mouths start screaming really, really loud and high pitched, and I need everybody to give me a Constitution saving throw.
$13. I'm rolling a lot of 11s on the die.
9.
Okay.
11 for me.
Okay.
12.
Okay. Everybody except Enoch is slightly dazed, and you have disadvantage on your attacks. Not dazed, but, well, dazed and confused. I like that.
Disoriented.
Disoriented is good.
Those days.
Confounded. Befuddled.
Flabbergasted.
There you go. Befuddled is a good one.
Befuddled.
Bewitched, bothered, and bewildered.
Ratcatcher.
Alright, so I am going to shout to me! And I am going to use my bonus action to cast Zephyr Strike. So this is a constitution or concentration up to a minute. I move like the wind until it ends. I don't provoke attacks of opportunity with my movement. And then once before the spell ends, I can give myself advantage on one attack roll on my turn. So that is going to be this turn. So I'm going to have advantage on this roll, which will negate your disadvantage.
Perfect. Love it.
And it will hopefully deal some extra damage as well. So basically what you see is the rats all like surge to my feet, and he like moves like lightning fast, propelled by this swarm of rats like across the room at this monster.
I love that.
That's
so cool.
awesome.
Let's see AI draw that.
That's
18 on
awesome.
the die, so 23.
Oh yeah, that hits.
So this is 2d8 points of damage, and then also I will again shout "My ups!" and it will surge up my arm and do an extra d6. So this is 2d8 and a d6 of damage.
Nice.
So we'll do the piercing first. So 6 points of piercing damage, another 2 points of force damage for 8, and then a d6 4, so 12 points of total damage. So
Okay.
10 piercing and 2 force.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay. As this swarm of rats is carrying him like up off his feet, like 4 feet higher than normal, and he reaches out with his rapier, and the rats swarm up his arm onto this creature, Nickbar.
Nickbar
Turns
throws
into
his
a-
hands sideways, begins shaking a little bit and humming deep in his throat, and then he just spits this very fine point of acid, and casts Melf's acid arrow at it,
Okay.
but with
Does that-
disadvantage.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But still. That's cool. Spitting Melf's acid arrow.
All right. Well, one of the dies was a natural 20.
Yet.
The other die was a natural 1.
What are the odds?
1 in 400.
No.
So I miss.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Does
Uh.
Melfs do half on a miss?
I don't know. If
On
you
a miss,
miss-
the arrow splashes the target with acid for half as much of the initial
good.
damage and no ongoing damage. So it still does half.
Good.
So
So your
it
arrow
would have
trailing
done
acid.
13. It instead does 6 acid damage.
Okay. We're up to 41 points of damage. So that was Nickbar. Sastra. This creature is just being pummeled by you guys.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use the quarterstaff again.
Okay.
That is, I can't read in this light. 19 to hit,
Yep, that hits.
and oh, that's not as good. 5 points of bludgeoning damage. I'm gonna do unarmed strike again with like a kick with my foot.
Mm-hmm.
15 to hit.
Yep.
And
It's a big bag of flesh.
4
Easy to hit.
points. 4
Hard
points.
to bring down.
So that's 4
Yep.
points of damage. And then I have another key point, and I'll do flurry of blows again.
Okay.
Oh yes, that's 21 to hit.
Yep.
21 to hit, and then I just got allergies all of a sudden. I'm allergic to the monster. 2. Is that a 2? No, that's a 1. 3. 4 points.
Right. We're up to 54 damage.
Bad
Okay.
kitty.
The screams are ongoing. You guys are a little disoriented. Were you hitting with disadvantage on your punches and stuff? You're
No.
supposed to, right?
Damn. Yeah.
Okay, let's roll them again just
Okay.
to see. The AC is pretty low, so there's a chance.
Okay, well that one was an 18.
Still hits, okay. And the first punch
That would be a 13.
still hits, and the second kick.
That would be also a 13.
All right, so no hurt, no harm, no foul.
Okay.
It's the monster's turn though, and as you're hitting it, it gets a bite, and that's a 20.
Yep.
Filthy, dirty, nasty, slimy, bloody, green, oozy bite. 20.
Oh.
And it rips into your shoulder and rips off hunks of flesh. 9 damage.
Oh, y'all better be able to get in there, because that was my only good arm.
Yeah. And
I thought I
then
forgot to take a healing spell.
it's gonna reach out with a claw swing at Ratcatcher Merc. And that is a 14.
You missed.
Yeah. It is going to release some sort of vile stench. I need everybody to roll another con save.
I literally live in the sewers.
Oh, thank goodness. Thank
11.
goodness. 15.
Okay.
18.
Okay. Well, this time only Nick Barr. You've you've got disadvantage and a -3 on attacks because
And
you are
smell funny.
gagging. All of you guys smell it, but Nick Barr, for some reason, finds this particularly disgusting.
That's
Who
fine.
smells
I'm
it? Don't it, Nick Barr?
out that damn window.
Yep.
If you guys can stay here with it, I'm going out the window.
Enoch.
Enoch will let's cast let's use my last leveled spell here. Let's use Cloud of Daggers here. So he's going to concentrate on Cloud of Daggers on this creature. And so it takes 4d4 slashing damage. Ten points of slashing damage. And if it stays there, it will take more damage.
All right. Well, it can't really move anywhere because it's
Oh,
The whole-
so then I should have casted this earlier.
the hallway is 10 feet wide and 25 feet long, and it's 10 feet wide and 10 feet long. So it's kind of just blocking your passage. But it can go forward and backwards, but you guys are all around it now. So, Ratcatcher.
So he will kind of gesture and start muttering some things. And what you see is
Eldritch things?
yes, eldritch things. He's muttering eldritch things. So he will stop concentrating on Zephyr Strike, and I will use my action to cast Fairy Fire in the 20 feet that is the creature's square. So what you see is as these rats like crawl all over him, they start to kind of glow with this pale green, eerie light, and it makes it a lot easier to see and hit the creature. So,
Wisdom save?
Nope. Each object in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined in blue, green, or violet light. Your choice. Any creature in the area when the spell is cast. If it fails, it fails a Dex saving throw.
Dex. Well, it's got a -1 on Dex. So a 13 total.
Nope. That will fail.
All right. It's a failure. It knows that, but it is eating people, so. So that means
Right.
it's glowing with glowing rats all over it. It's easier to hit. Got it.
Yeah, you would have advantage. So since we all have disadvantage, the disadvantage is now negated.
Perfect. Nick Bar.
Come on, Nick.
He sniffs slightly, shaking his head, grabs a flea out of let's grab it out of Sastra's fur, just plucks a flea out, and then is going to try and make maggots appear inside of this thing.
Okay.
So that is a con save DC 13.
That's a 5 on the die plus 2. So a 7, which is failure.
Enjoy 2 points of poison damage.
2 points of poison. And what's crawling all over it? Maggots? Fleas?
Maggots.
Oh, well, it probably already had maggots on it. It's so gross.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Nice. And does it have to run in a direction? Is that part of it?
Yes, it must move. It rolled a 1, so it must move north by
If
5
it
feet.
can't move north, do you get to
Nothing
choose which-
happens.
Oh,
No.
so it's just kind of crammed up against the
Mhm.
wall, and it leaves a big smear all over the wall. Okay. Sastra. It's looking a lot less sturdy than it used to.
Well, I'm probably gonna die, so I'm gonna go out swinging.
You've got one key point left?
I do. I do. So, okay. It's for Amy. I'll do it for Amy.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do what I did. I'm quarterstaff again. Ooh, natural 20.
Good, yeah. Roll damage.
It is the D8, D8, D8. Okay. That is 7 plus 5, so 12.
12 damage. It starts to extend this pseudopod and at the end of it, it opens up into an eyeball, and you just bat it off, and the eye detaches and smacks against the wall.
Okay. And now I'm gonna.
Yep, out the window.
Yeah, there you go. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do the unarmed strike. This time I'm gonna use the metal arm,
Oh, nice.
and that is a 14 plus 5, so 19 to hit.
19 absolutely hits.
2 plus 5 points of bludgeoning damage,
Okay.
and then I'll use my.
You can choose with this new arm to do bludgeoning or piercing.
Piercing.
Just want to pop an
You
eyeball
can
out.
just drive
Yeah.
your hand right in there.
Yeah, that's what
Okay,
I'm
you
gonna
want
do.
to do piercing?
Yeah.
Okay. How much was it? 5?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then I'll spend my last key point and do flurry of blows.
Go for it.
14 on the die, so 19 again. And what is that? That is 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Nice. Wow. You're really tearing this guy up.
Well, he's probably about to kill me, so there you go.
Well, it is his turn.
Yep.
And
Take care of
it's got
Amy.
These dangling eye stalks, and one eye stalk comes at you, and the eye peels open, and a mouth comes out of the eyeball for a 18 to hit.
Ah, yeah.
It take 9 points of biting, piercing damage as it just tears into your chest.
I'm now at -2. So, I mean, -7.
So you go down.
Yeah.
How'd the monk die? Oh, the eyeball bit her chest open.
And
After she
and the
knocked one
claw-
out of the window.
The claw goes for the rat catcher again with an 22,
That definitely hits.
and you take 9 slashing as the claw just rips across your neck.
Ouch. Really
Okay,
should've
remember you
remembered
guys are
that
swinging with,
Prep a cure spell.
yeah, but you don't have to maintain concentration on the.
On fairy fire, yeah, I do.
Oh, you do. All right. Well,
Mm,
you took 9
Concentration
damage.
roll.
Yeah.
Is a constitution roll. Is
Concentration.
19.
Perfect. All right, Enoch.
Continues concentrating on Cloud of Daggers and does, let's see,
87.
I wish, but 10 more
44.
points of slashing damage
Oh, that's good.
as the daggers fly around and slash into this thing.
This thing is just pumping gore and green fluid. It's just the room is awash in liquid right now.
And then he'll, as his action, he'll cast Eldritch Blast.
Sweet.
Does an 18 hit?
It absolutely do.
Perfect. Please take 3 more points of force damage.
Okay, nice. As chunks get torn off from the daggers and the Eldritch Blast, this thing, if it could run away or if it had anything in mind to do that, it probably would be, but it's not. Ratcatcher. Murr.
I would like to stab it.
With your rat teeth?
Nope. Well, maybe. How's a 12? Might not hit.
12 does hit.
I'm kind of surprised. I thought it might have chunkier flesh than that, but I figured it would be big and hard to, easy to poke, but hard to stab, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Alright, well, that's a big 4 points of damage from that rapier attack, but I will send my rats swarming up it once again for another 3 points of 7 altogether.
Okay. Ooh.
And I will continue concentrating on Fairy Fire.
All right. And it's looking really bad. Nick Barr?
Come on, Nick.
Nick Barr does his little sniff again, looks at the fallen monk, sneers, and then throws a corpse flower from his pouch at her and heals her for 7 points with Healing Word.
That puts me at 0.
That's
Oh,
not
you don't-
how it works.
Yeah. You have 7 now.
Yeah.
And then turns and throws the flea into the air and casts Infestation again, so con save. DC 13.
That's a 15 on the die.
So nothing happens.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm done.
I can die again.
Sastra.
I can die again. I'm
No, I
done.
just figured my bonus action Healing Word's gonna do a lot more damage than Infestation will.
Alright, so I'm round whatever of the same again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, don't I have to take action to get up? I'm not prone. Yes, I am.
It's not an action.
You can take your movement.
This is my movement to get up. I'm not
Half
going
your
anywhere.
Your
movement.
movement.
You're
Yeah.
right underneath this
Yeah. So I'm gonna
disgusting mess.
hop up with the quarter. Now I'm
That's hot.
pissed. Now I'm pissed. Oh yeah, 19. So that hits. I just like saying 23. It makes me feel better. That is with my quarterstaff.
Tell me how you want to do this.
Ah! Can I do the touch of death?
Oh, yeah, you can.
How do I do that?
Well, you just explain how it works.
I'm gonna
Tell
take
us.
the quarterstaff into whatever remaining, if there's a remaining eyeball.
Oh, there's lots of them.
I'm just gonna jam it into one of those eyeballs, and I'm gonna just like do that, pull down on
And
it.
just keep driving
Yeah.
it in. Dredging it in as
For
you go.
Amy!
Yeah, you slide your blunt weapon all the way through this thing, and it kind of keels over against the wall and slides down, just covered with cuts and chunks missing out of it, and the scent of just gigantic farts filling up this room, and just kind of starts to slowly puddle. Starts to, like gobbets fall off, just plopping off. You've popped all the stitches. Just things are just sliding off in chunks. It's dead, and your touch of death gives you back some hit points.
I get 6 more back. So
Can we leave?
The other end of this short hallway is another double door.
I'm just standing there, dripping in gore, and breathing heavy, down one arm. Just And I just start stepping through the gore toward the door. Like, I'm just over it. I'm done. I've almost died. And now I'm gross. And
Can't clean yourself with your tongue this time.
no.
And don't forget the arm.
And as I start wading through the gore, I turn and I look at Nick and I'm like, thanks. And I just keep going.
I can't make
Okay.
you a zombie yet.
So you go through the door.
Yeah.
On the floor, well, you see what looks like a reception room. There's a big desk. There's two really massive doors, each like 10 feet wide. On the you're coming in from the west side, but off to your right on the south wall, huge carved temple doors that are closed. There's a big desk here, a chair, but sprawled out on the floor is this monster that you first saw in the beginning. This creature with the old woman's face and the spider legs and like 4 arms coming out of its torso. But it's sprawled out on the floor. Her escape from this monstrosity did not go as planned, and she's been badly wounded, lying on the floor. She raises her head, tries to speak.
We are all alive. Alive! You have overcome the plague. Means that I succeeded. Please, I beg of you, do not let my work go in vain. Find those who know how to use you and your blood. We have the cure. We have the means to save them all. Save everyone. Do not let my work come to naught.
Dang it, I was going to hit her with a quarterstaff.
You may.
They whisper something to the rats and they just start eating your face.
I just leave.
Yeah.
Fuck you, speed rat.
After the little speech there, yeah, I'm just going to.
You push your way through the temple doors,
Mm-hmm.
and you've escaped. The city is open to you, and unless you want to say some last words, that's where we'll end tonight's episode.
I need a bath.
Nickbar turns back to the other 3, sniffs once, turns into a giant spider, and just scutters off into the sunset.
Yeah, fuck you too.
I march to the nearest establishment that has a bath, and that's where I'm going.
I go to the nearest establishment that has a bar.
I go to the nearest swamp.
Enoch shape changes into Nick Bar. Gives him the bird.
Excellent.
Nice. Very cool.
Well, that was fun. Hopefully it was horrific enough for you guys. I don't know. But
It was
I had a
good.
time.
Spooky.
It was
Thanks,
gross.
Jack.
Yeah, it was
Gross.
So I have one of those like dimmer switches in my bathroom, and if I turn it down too far low, the LEDs will kind of flicker a little bit because there's not quite enough power. And I went in the other room on break, and the lights started flickering. I flipped that shit up. Nope, we're not doing that shit today.
good.
All right.
All right,
Absolutely
folks.
not.
Good times. Well, again, that was The Escape by Omnix. If you want to run that for your group, go ahead and find it. It's free online.
and
Brandy was running all of the stuff and playing. Kudos to Brandy.
Thank
And
you.
thank you to our players. We had a great time, and thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time on Dicey Decisions.
Back to our regularly scheduled program next week.
yes.
No more creep patrol.
Bye.